like you guys been through this. Like I used to go in the house sometimes and it smelled like African food and I'd be embarrassed, right? And I'm like, damn, why the house smell like African food? Now, like as a grown person, I miss that. Like
You're right.
I miss that going home and just like being around like, you know, that African culture.
ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko Nairobi tuna ChafuwaMeza. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko in the city, ChafuwaMeza. Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko Nairobi tuna ChafuwaMeza. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko in the city.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the ChafuwaMeza podcast. Today I got a whole crib full of guests. This is gonna be a good one. On my left, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself as we go around.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Rich. We're back at it again.
Yeah, this is Blaze. We back at it again.
This is Cedric. We're back at it again.
And this is Lemmy, your host. We back at it. Okay. Yes, you guys already know before we do anything, we usually do shots. Before the show starts, we do shots. I don't know how many you guys can do, but let's do shots real quick so we can start the show the right way. Because this is how we do in the ChafuwaMeza podcast.
All right.
I know I'm definitely drinking this one. What up? My water right here. What you doing?
I don't know. I never tried that melange.
Yeah, you gotta try this.
I'll try it.
I try that. I gotta try this. You do the same thing?
Yeah, might as well keep it all in the same vibe, you know.
Do you drink what's that one? The Crown Apple.
Yeah, Crown Royal Apple.
Yeah.
Have you tried that before?
Yeah, I
Of
tried
course,
that.
you got it. Yeah. You tried that before? No, the green
Oh,
one.
they're good. No.
Never?
Never really heard of it.
Yo, that shit is sweet though. Yeah. If you have anybody who's like they don't like the taste of the liquor, that's a good one.
Okay, I'll probably take that one.
Okay, yeah, take that. That's good right there.
Is it open?
Probably not. I'm saying you gotta pop the bottle right now, man. Yeah, this is Valentine already. Or should I say the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir, man. And I got the Eagles winning it, man. I know you can't bet against Pat Mahomes, but I want the Eagles boys to win it, man.
It's gonna be an interesting one.
It is.
Definitely gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. I think that you know, if they both teams play good defense, or at least the Eagles play good defense and find a way to control Mahomes because you really can't stop him.
Yeah.
And they keep it close.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting one. I don't want it to be a blowout.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't care who wins. As long as it's a good game. That's what that matters to me, man.
Yeah, hey man.
Hey, man, this is for you guys, man. Salute for everybody pulling through, man.
Over there, my friend.
Blaze! Shout out to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Moreover, if you guys can remember, this is my first show. It was these two guys. If you guys can remember, it was Blaze
Yeah.
and Cedric. My first, yo, you know, till today, that's the number one show that's doing well as opposed to any other episode I've done.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
like that's the one everybody keep viewing over and over and over. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah,
That's what's
so
up, man.
hope this one's gonna be
Another one,
bigger than
you
that
know
one.
what I'm saying? I know.
Now, because we got you.
Love, yeah, of course, man.
Oh, that's what's up.
But yes, sir, let's pop it, man. Woo! Damn, that's a good one. Anyway, as we start the show, let's get into it. I know my two guests are from Congo, and we know the whole thing that's going on with Congo right now. A lot of killings, obviously. A lot of people struggling. They don't know where to go because they're flying away from the country. And you know what's so crazy? Congo is huge.
It is huge.
Yo, Congo is like Kenya 9 times.
Yeah, I mean, it's the second largest continent.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
country.
largest country.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm surprised. So when all these guys are flying away, where they going? Like shit, it's too many of y'all.
I mean, they're probably just crossing like the neighbor country.
Yeah, but it's too
I
many.
mean,
of
I was one of them too. Like before coming here, I was actually part of that type of stuff too as well that happened in that area, that east area. So, yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with what's been going on. Can any of you guys like fill me in or give me like a quick summary, right?
Okay.
So what's going on in
Blaze,
Kenya?
you want to break it down?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Blizz because he know better
Yeah,
what
I
really
mean, right
happens.
now there was a war going on in the east area. Where the city is actually Goma. So there's a lot of that happened. A lot of people run away from their civilians. Yeah, because there's a war. There's a group that called M23. So, but yeah, because it's a French colonized country, so we call M23. So yeah, they're, I won't call them the rebel, but they're actually the group that's been there for a long time ago. So just happened to escalate to another level. So they actually went to that region called Goma, and they're trying to take over.
Wow, M23 sounds crazy. First of all,
M23.
but now what's the main cause of it? Is it just like corruption? Is it? I mean, because majority of like any war in Africa is either corruption or greed, right?
Of
If we really come down to it.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and answer if you want to answer that question.
I mean, if when we're talking about what's the really main cause, there's so many things that goes in play. But it's like these things just didn't happen out of the proportion, right? It just didn't happen just like that. These things that happen. It's been like this for like 30 years. It's a conflict that's been going on for like over years, long time ago.
So it's just been brewing and kind of hit.
I mean,
Exactly.
so the past administration of the country, there was somehow keep it together from blowing away.
Okay.
But now this current administration, I think they haven't been keeping up with that, and that's why it's just blowing up like that. There's so many things which we're gonna talk about it here as well too.
So it really happened when the new administration came in and kind of took over. Which kind of like
which there were lack of certain things.
Okay.
And the new administration been in power for 5 years now?
Yeah, it's 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which in
crazy.
2022, it kind of happened like that, but then it wasn't like so much. But you could see that this is gonna end up happening like the way it is.
Okay.
It's not just something that we're out of spec that we're just my God, no. We had this conversation before. Said, this is gonna happen.
Okay. So the writing was on the wall and people kind of seen it. I was like,
so you guys saw it coming.
This might
Oh yeah,
happen.
we always have a conversation, all right? We were just talking on the way here.
We're talking about it. We've been talking
something
about
like
it
this
since last
gonna
year.
happen.
Something like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. Because I was actually trying to pay attention to it. Even when you mentioned the M23, because at first I was like, who's the M23 people? They're still Congolese, right?
Well, so I mean, there's so much in. Okay, so we have to understand the reason why M23 was why they were there in the first place, right?
Yeah.
We have to go back into like a genocide time, like in 1994 when Rwanda, Tutsi, they got killed.
That was crazy.
1 million.
That was crazy.
So the group was designed to actually go tackle those problems from happening.
Okay.
So from Congo.
It was majority of them. They were actually Rwandese, right?
Okay.
But which is from long time ago, wherever that was in charge of those type of genocide, whoever that was actually the leader of that, he actually ran away to Congo, in that region, which is Goma. That's a city. What's happening right now?
I think you're referring to Laurent Kunda, right?
Right, Laurent Kunda. So he
yeah.
actually ran to Congo, and some of the Congolese people actually protect the guy.
Okay.
And the group too, they actually went from Congo, from Rwanda to Congo. So they actually protect him from long time ago. Okay. And when Kagame was actually the leader of the military at that time.
Of course, yeah.
So when they took over, the head of the military he died during the war, and then Kagame had to step up. So if the guy didn't die, Kagame could actually been. I don't think he could have been a president, to be frank with you, if you really look at it. But I can't remember his name, but he actually died. And then Kagame stepped up to the rank of a commander. And after that, the president that he was working with Kagame, and after that, Kagame became a president. And then he tackled this like really, really good.
Really good.
He created the movement. And after the movement, the movement went to the border and secured the border from this happening in the future.
Okay.
But there was so much propaganda, conflict beyond that. There was political things. And they escalate to another level, another thing come to another thing. But of course, Western, they're actually involved with all this type of stuff too as well. But
That's pretty interesting because the whole time I was watching what's going on right now, I'm keep seeing the M23 and the M23. They keep saying they're getting help from Kagame.
Of course.
So I was like, yo, this shit make no sense.
No, it does.
No, now
yeah,
you explain. I was like, okay, if they come from there, of course Kagame is their boy.
So those group they actually were called Banyamurenge.
Okay.
So for a long time ago, my youth when I was there, they were called Banyamurenge. But those Banyamurenge, it's like saying that, okay, you guys in Kenya has Masai, right?
Yeah.
And then in Tanzania, they have a Masai. Imagine like...
The border right
Yeah,
there.
right there. So imagine like, okay, we want the Masai from Tanzania to go back to Kenya. They don't know what...
Yeah, exactly. That's their home.
Yeah, they don't know what Kenya Masai... They don't even know what Kenya is.
Yeah.
The Tanzania Masai, that's Tanzania Masai.
Yeah.
Kenya Masai, that's just Kenya Masai.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. When those guys went to Congo with Banyamurenge, they just feel like they're part of Congo.
Okay.
But then from years and years, to generation to come, and the Congolese didn't want to accept them, right? They told them to go back. But they said, no, we're going to stay here and fight for our own right because that's the only thing we know. You're asking us to go back where we have no idea about.
No idea.
It's like African American now. It's like you tell African American, go back where you come from. Blah.
They have an
Majority
identity here.
Exactly.
Now,
it's
I
the
know
same thing.
some of from African nations, right? A lot of these, small, I want to call them troubles, but these ruckers really start in small regions and then leak out to the capital city. Now for Congo, has it started in the capital city all along, or?
Oh no, it's gonna get there.
It's not there yet, but
Because
not there
they're
yet.
coming from the eastern part of the country. The capital is in the west.
okay.
So, Goma is in the eastern part. So,
Is it-
but they say
okay.
that they're gonna go from the eastern all the way to the west. Kinshasa is in the western part of the
Okay.
country.
And
so.
this is just like a history repeat itself.
Exactly.
It's happened.
Exactly.
It has happened before.
Before, and the same way too.
Now-
Always eastern.
But what's up with your military people? Because Congo is huge.
Man, it's a let me tell you, it's a disaster. But you see, that's the problem when a country is not organized. That's what happened. That's the chaos. Cause see, think about it. Right? Congo is they say that Congo is over 120 million people.
Yeah.
So you would think for 120 million people, they would be having a good army and they would be able to
The whole
protect. But
structure,
the government, what they did, they're pocketing the money. It's really just for the government. They're not paying the military enough. Imagine the military guy getting paid $200, maybe what, a month or something, or even in 6 months probably. So you see what I'm saying?
The military hasn't been involved quite yet, or
I mean, not really, and they're
here's the
giving
thing,
up,
right?
too.
I'm
They're
going to
giving
try to
up,
break
okay.
down as short as much as I can, right? So imagine this, right? For the past history, for 30 years, we haven't been, our leader always been paranoid about investing in the military because they're
Exactly.
always so afraid
Oh,
that
the
to
coup
be
d'etat.
so powerful military could betray him or could betray them. So they're always being afraid. So they never really invest. They're always so dependent on someone else outside of a country to come help them.
Exactly. The
Because
mercenaries.
this
You
is
see?
just
Western now.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. This just didn't happen overnight. It's because of our history from our leader. They just never trust him. And I remember also too, and also the president been one of the president, which is the father, which is Laurent Kabila, got assassinated by the Kadogo. But Kadogo was actually the kid of the military that actually killed him. Oh. So through the history, because of this involvement on type of stuff, we never really invested so much in the military because we're always so paranoid. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then we are paying the actual bigger price because of that. To be able to control the country as such as that, you have to have stronger military,
Exactly.
stronger police administration department. But we don't have. There's no structure. They just say that there's no structure of anything.
I mean, since I'm not obviously, like I said, I'm not really familiar with it, and also just to paint a quick picture for our viewers as well, right? So how bad is it from a scale of 1 to 10? Obviously, 10 being the worst.
it's
for
horrible.
a regular citizen.
It's bad.
For a regular citizen,
It's
I
really
can't even
bad,
go
man.
outside of my home, or
No, it's
my
bad, bro.
home can really
No,
people can
it's
kick
really
in the door
bad.
and stuff like that.
It's really bad.
Because right now people
Oh
are
my God.
evacuating from Goma. They're actually taking precaution because they don't know what's gonna happen. So they're actually leaving as soon as possible. They're taking the belongings and now it's really chaos. We're gonna see a big humanitarian again, chaos.
I've seen that shit.
But
I was
Congo's
watching
always
it.
been in chaos.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think there's a one point where I feel like there's
Peace.
is it peaceful or anything. It's always been like this.
But I feel like right now it's worse than before.
Oh, yeah, it's
It's
getting
worth it
worse,
because
yeah.
someone
Yeah.
else actually stand up. They just wanted to kick out the
getting
current
worse.
administration because it's just. Well, think about it, right? For the past 5 years, really, we haven't really had any investor even going there. Like a major investor created jobs. There's no activity there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, we are too invested. We are too dependent on someone else to come save us.
Yeah.
You're right.
Shouldn't be like that. Of
course.
If it be okay, if the world is claiming the way we have as much as the resources that we have, why are we so dependent on someone else every time to come save us, solve our problem?
Hey, right now we have an answer to that one. I mean, Trump already stopped all the help coming over.
Which I think I agree with that one. I think I like that.
Yeah. Now we're going to
And
see what happens.
That will wake up a lot of people.
Africans
a lot of
country,
African
yes.
country will be waking and be able to start thinking about themselves independently, right? Instead of depending on someone else.
You made a good point that I want to follow back up on. You said it happened before, right? And you've obviously never seen, Congo in a peace state basically as a whole. Right. Do you guys feel like? Because I was like talking about the younger generation, right? I always think obviously the younger generation are the future, right? Now, do you guys think there's more eyes on it now with technology and people like uploading stuff? Do you think like there's more eyes, on what's going on than previous times before?
You're right. There's more eyes going on, but the only thing is people are not as organized as how they're supposed to. Even though we got technology, sometimes, because the older generation, they were like, I mean, they never actually been like, we never been organized. That's the problem with Congo.
Okay.
But right now with technology, yes, of course, people are paying attention, but it's still not as the way, so the media don't really cover it too much.
And
you see what I'm
I
saying?
definitely agree with you
yeah.
on that aspect because Sudan happened the same thing, right?
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Right.
with
I was
North
gonna say
Sudan,
that. Right.
with North
You're
Sudan,
definitely
obviously I'm from Sudan, so like I kind of knew what was kind of going on before things really kind of hit the fan, but there wasn't any media coverage, right? And I think at the same time things were popping off is when Israel and all that stuff was going on too. So like it was really like pushed to the back, right? You didn't really know a lot of it until you've done your own research and like, hey, like things are really hitting the fan. Innocent people are dying in the streets, right?
I totally agree.
Which is true. I mean, there's right now in this modern technology and in our generation, there's a lot of advantage. But at the same time, like the news, we are we are so controlled by so many powerful people. It doesn't matter what you put out there, really. It doesn't really matter. They're only gonna believe in the platform, the bigger platform that has been covered by someone that just want to control it by it, right?
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Right?
No, I get your point, but I won't really say it doesn't matter. I think it matters as well. Because now people are waking up realizing media is controlled. So the small media people, if you want the truth, you go search on the smaller media because they seem to say more truth as opposed to the bigger
coming
media.
from
Bigger media.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I think that's happening a lot on the Western side, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back, kick it back to like 2008, whatever, 2009. Like a lot of people are like CNN, like that's where my information's coming from. Like that's where I rely on the most, right?
Yeah.
Now we're in 2025 where you have people like us here. We're sitting on a podcast, right? And somebody can watch this and be like, hey, like I respect their views as well, right? You have people on TikTok that they're sharing their views
All
as
this
well.
media, yeah.
So like your source of information is not filtered through like the higher power, right? You have just regular people that have nothing to gain from it. Like we're sitting here, right?
Yes.
Like we have nothing to gain from
from it,
sharing
you're
this
right.
information, right? We're just talking about it because you guys are obviously passionate about it, right? It's your homeland and you care deeply about it. So I definitely think that time is changing. So small media is definitely going to have an important impact, right? And I definitely think the Western side is, pushing for that. And hopefully that leaks out, to our, motherland, man.
You're right. You're definitely right. Because you know what? Most of the time when the media cover things, is always from the Western point of view, right? It's
Absolutely.
never
That's
from
what I was
the
trying to
African
say.
point of view.
That's where the money's at.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, someone is controlling that,
Yeah,
of course.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
And
makes
that's
a lot
what
of
I'm
sense.
saying. Like it's always about someone who's controlling certain things.
Yeah.
But
Just
and the funny thing is that we're so divided among ourselves too as well.
You're right. That's
We're
really
very
true.
divided.
Now, when it
That's
comes
what
to
I'm
you
saying.
guys, when you say division, right? Is it division? Because back to South Sudan again, right? Because it's my country and that's all I know, right? Where division is more of a tribalism thing. What are you guys? Are you guys more colorism, tribalism,
It's
government?
tribalism
Like,
too.
what are you?
All of
Yeah,
that.
tribalism too.
Well, Congo is
So-
everything.
Yes, everything. Yeah.
So
Holy cow.
what makes it so hard is because it's such a big country, like you said. It's like so big. It's like, and we always speak like a different language based
Yeah.
on the location wise, right? Yeah. So like on the east area, majority of people that speak Swahili, and their own tribes as well. Then in the west area, which I'm talking about the same country still. So in the west area too as well, they speak Lingala as well. But the main language is French.
Yeah, I was about to say because you guys
But-
were colonized by the French, right?
Yeah.
Right, we're calling about
yeah.
French, but
Yeah.
so if you look at it that way, man, it's just doesn't make it things so easier. And the Western always feel like want to be divided from the West. The Eastern want to divide it from West. It's just all over the place.
It's always an issue.
Yeah, and then plus also too when it comes to resources, East area seems like to have more resources than
Absolutely.
West area. So it's
And-
always.
I
it's
said this
just
in
so
our
many
lot
things.
on the other podcast, right? About the phone, like how you guys correct me if I'm wrong, right? Like things that are or particles that make up this iPhone or any phone that's in the world right now. Some of those unique resources really come from Congo, right?
Congo, yeah.
So
Cobalt,
you guys have so much resources, right? And
No,
I know,
actually, it's just like in terms of like a coltan itself, right? For like a battery, all the things
Yep.
they do, we produce almost like 70% of this.
of the world,
Yeah,
right?
it comes from you guys. Yeah. Yeah. But you guys are still poor. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
it's like
like-
we're not organized.
Yeah.
If we were
That's the key
somehow
point.
organized, we should have.
Yeah,
And then, see, the thing is, for me personally, on my personal view, based on traveling in a different country, and I'll tell you this: majority of a country that it seems very organized is because they tackle down, they understand the importance of having a stronger military.
You're
Oh,
right.
yes.
Because when you have a stronger military, control majority of things, but you don't realize it. If you look at the United States, what they're well known of, is
Military.
having a stronger military.
Yeah.
Stronger military, then it go break down from police department, all those sector, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't have a stronger military from a get-go,
Everything becomes a problem.
You're right.
You still
Yeah.
hold a structure.
nobody
Right.
respects
Yeah,
you.
you gotta make
In this
sure.
world, it's all about respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they view you, and that's why they pursue you in your image of where I view you as you're a weaker person. Trading is not gonna be equal.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So right now, looking at your government officials, are they pretty wealthy?
Of course.
Oh my God.
Everybody's
Very,
wealthy.
Very wealthy.
Of course.
You,
Those
you
guys
know how
all
much?
they do is-
A deputy get paid what? At least $21,000 a month.
No, forget the payment.
No, I'm just giving an example, right? But you
that's
know,
the pay, right?
You gotta. That's maybe regular
That's just the
guy.
pay.
Yeah.
That's just the pay.
You're not going down.
But you
to-
gotta.
and this is not just Congo though. It could go
Yes.
Sudan. It could
Yeah.
go all over
month.
in the country.
21,000.
Yes.
In Sudan, it's the same thing. I'm not. We're not just talking about just.
But
Congo
in Sudan
itself.
right now, it's that that number has to be a lot lower because like we just divided, right? And with us, we divided back in 2011, and we're going through some shambles ourselves, right? I think the war in North Sudan has leaked a lot of people to come down to South Sudan, right? And that's been causing like ruffling a lot of feathers, right? Because a lot of people felt like when we divided from the North, it's like we fought them for years and years and years, right? And now your country's messed up and you've kicked us out of the North. I just told you guys I just came back from home, right? And I was talking to my mom and, she was just saying like there was times where like, because North Sudan, they're lighter than us, right? And South Sudan were darker. And there was times where like, people in like North Sudan, if they see someone that's dark, they're like, yo, what are you doing here? Like you belong in like the South type thing, right? So they were trying to like, get us all in one area type thing. Like, hey, get out of our place, right? And now your country's on fire and now you want to come take our resources and come to our place and invade our place. And us Africans, majority of us are like, obviously forgiveful and very, very humble, right? So we're welcoming. We're like, hey, we'll take you, even though you treated us bad for years and years, we'll still take you. But then there's some people that are like, hey, there's not enough for everybody, man. So it's just, and our government, we're not really we're not stable, to be honest with you.
Right.
We're not stable at all. We're still young. We're still learning.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem we have in Africa. We're not stable.
Yeah.
Every country seems to have the same problem if you
You're
pay
right.
attention to it. It's the
Different,
same,
right.
different countries, but the same problem. Doesn't
You're
make any
right.
sense, man. But again, like Trump stopped all the help coming to Africa this year, so we're gonna see from now moving forward what's gonna happen.
I think that might cripple us because, to
For a
be
little
honest
bit.
with you, I haven't done a lot of research on it, so I'm not gonna talk too much. But like, China, from what I heard, at least China's at least going in there and like invest in roads. I know at the end of the day they want a kickback as well, but at least they're doing something, right?
Doing something.
Like China's investing, but I know they're gonna want something.
Yeah,
Of course, that's how life works. But this is the point I'm trying to make it sense, right? You see, like the way you just said, we might be crippled. Remember, it's not the country. The countries don't have money; they have money. It's just the government end up taking all the money.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? So if they can fall back and cut back from stealing, now we can move forward, hopefully. That's the hardest part. It's kind of like stopping corruption. You know what I mean? So there's a chance for us to survive on our own, but are they willing to change?
But I mean, if you cut resources and new ideas coming in from other countries, like that's gonna hurt you. That's how America is built. Like America, time out, like all like the great ideas didn't come out in America. Like people from other country came in and like, hey, we could do this here. We could invest in this.
We're not stopping other countries. Remember, like right now, if you look at Africa, we depend on our own. Like usually, besides America, let me not say America, but the Western being the one in charge, we don't even depend on each other countries.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You make sense.
There's no help. We don't.
no help.
You never see a president going to the next country like, yo, can we do such and such? Everybody's kind of like on their own.
Yeah,
but this is the time that we can stretch out and call other
agree.
countries, other president, other leaders, and kind of like make moves.
You're right. I
So
agree with you.
here's the thing, though, right? With that, I mean, I don't think we shouldn't even be focusing about all that type of stuff about Trump do this, Trump do that, do that. I just feel like we're more, us as an African, right? There's so much, we have to get ourselves out of debt first. Because there's so many countries in Africa that are so much in debt because they're actually, Western actually own them because of that. I was just having a conversation in the car, right? I was saying this, the World Bank, the International World Bank, actually, they're the most like probably evil people
Of course.
on earth.
Of course.
Because what they do is they detect what you eat, they
Yes.
detect what you can produce, they detect what you actually, those are people actually control everything, right? Look at it. So they give you they give you a loan, right? That loan is actually not in your currency, it's in US currency. So for you to make up in your own currency to that currency, it's going to take you time. And then on top of that, they add their own risk because your country is full of war and all type of stuff. So there's a percentage of risk that they have to add it to it as well,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
the interest,
expensive.
yeah.
And that's why, and the West, when they see that the country like Congo that has so much things like this is actually benefit them
Yeah.
because the risk they keep increasing, the percentage of risk that they keep increasing because it's collateral. Like there's so much going on in your country, it's a risk for them. So you pay risk as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, your currency keep going down.
Of course.
Like right now, dude, if you go $20, you're working out with like
you
like
burn a lot.
you need a bag.
Yeah.
A big old bag to actually just feed that currency.
You see, when you started just mention let's now mention about Trump. I kind of like want to mention him a little bit because this is the point. Last year, going backwards a little bit, the biggest challenge we had in our country is our president used to come over here all the time. He used to fly to America. And when he comes to America, guess what? When he lives with a big bag. That shit's called a loan. Guess who's going to pay that shit? Us. And it's a trip that keep happening like every 3-4 months.
And that's
It's
what-
always at the country.
And
Again,
that's
come
what I
back with more
said.
loans.
We
Now,
need to focus on ourselves first
wait.
to get ourselves out of debt.
It's hard to focus on ourselves if the president is still bringing more problems. He's bringing more debts. So before me and you figured it
I
out,
see what
we
you
got
mean.
more problems
makes
coming
sense.
in.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now
yeah,
we had to stop him from asking for loans.
loans.
So now we can be able to pay back the ones we already own.
You're right.
So when Trump came in and said, yo, cut that shit out, I was like, thank you, God. Now all the trips he comes over here, if he ever comes over here, there's no money for you.
No money. Yeah.
So now we can focus on paying back. And once we pay back, we become stronger.
What?
Because now I was paying attention. You mentioned the currency stuff. I was paying attention on our currency. I was like, yo, our shit now look like it's constant. That shit was going down.
Yeah, it's actually
Now it's constant.
You
Like,
guys
okay.
your currency is actually doing much better than
Yeah.
some. It's like you go like Burundi, Congo. They're probably the worst I've ever seen.
But you gotta think about Congo is owned by, it has what, franc CFA, the CFA. You gotta think about the currency, the French currency.
Yeah, but so
You know what I'm talking about, right? Because Kenya use what? What Kenya? You guys
shillings. Yeah,
shillings.
so Tanzania use shillings.
Yeah,
as
Yeah,
well.
shillings
so it's
But
different.
so here's the thing, Cedric. Right, what you just brought it up about because of
the franc CFA.
the
I mean French.
Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, franc in general.
Franc in
as
general.
a currency.
Yeah.
So when I remember, I took it. I went to Abidjan, right, and the value just because they use it. See, it's all about how you maintain it, how you value yourself. You maintain to your economy too as well. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter really, because it's think about it. Through a time in the Congo, right, with a certain president, right, they will be able to maintain it somehow our currency to be somehow value, even though you can. It's no world trade,
Yeah.
but they will be able to maintain it
Yeah, that's
somehow,
true.
right?
Yeah.
But then when our current administration, look at it now, it's even worse here. Then I went to Abidjan, dude. The $5 is actually not even that much of a difference to Cote d'Ivoire. Like I'm like, yo,
Or next
this is
country.
the only, that's what I'm saying. This is the only one I'm getting, dude. Back home, I'm getting a sack of this for $5. But in Cote d'Ivoire, and I'm like, what? That's it? So I'm like, they ripped me off or what?
Yeah,
So
that
I
was
went
the same
back to
thing in
ask one of the
Nigeria,
narrative,
too.
one of my homeboys. I said, "Yo, what the heck? They just give me this?" I said, "Yeah. That's it.
Something
What'd
ain't
you-
right.
What'd you
Yeah.
give us? No, that ain't right.
Yeah.
This is a franc, the same currency Congo uses. I mean, the same name, but
Yeah.
I mean, different value. So it's all about depends on how you appear yourself and
That's
how
true.
you understand
I
the
think
economy in general.
it's the same exact thing, just like us and Tanzania, because we both using shillings.
Yeah, you guys
but
both
shillings
use shillings.
I mean, Tanzania's currency is pretty low. Like if you go to
Oh, yeah.
Tanzania, you're balling, my guy.
Yeah, it's
oh
pretty
my
low.
god.
Hey, don't get me out of here.
Last time I was there, $5,000 there. So I went to a bank and I changed $5,000 and I was able to get 11 millions. And this was like around 2021 or something. So like that.
That's even a while.
like
yeah,
$11
right
million.
now it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be balling.
Really?
I'm telling you, the whole club is yours, man.
Say less. I might just buy a club when I'm out there. For real. Yeah,
You
man.
know, and you know what's so crazy? Because they even have a lot of Americans moving over there.
Yeah.
They're buying houses and shit because it's pretty cheap. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's kind of
Yeah, I
dope.
mean,
man.
right now, I mean, it's not too cheap, but it depends some area.
Of course, every location matters.
Yeah.
It matters where you stay at. But then again, remember, if you're making your money, you earn your money in dollars, and you live there, you're living the life.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, if you getting paid in shillings and you live there, then of course now you're struggling. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so
It makes
yeah,
sense.
it makes a difference. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. All right. This is a question actually. Me and him, we had this conversation on our last podcast. I don't know if you can remember, but I just want to ask you guys because I just want to see what you guys think. Since we're talking about Africa, so do you guys think right now in Africa, what's more important, one currency or one language? Like the whole country, the whole continent speak one language, or we have just one currency.
One language doesn't really matter. I think it's a currency.
It's a currency, yeah.
Because
currency.
you see, the thing is, all right. There's a actually we were talking about that on the way here. One of the I think it was I could be wrong, but I think it was one of Kagame suggests that, right? No currency, but he actually suggests that to come together as one and kind of like work together in all aspect of everything. But there are certain country that they feel like they're so powerful than other countries.
Of course, yeah.
They're saying, no. You guys are too low for us. So it's all about ego and all type of stuff. So dude, if it ever gonna be a time, our lifetime, that we created one currency and we'll come together, that dude.
Yeah, that's
You
what
see
I was telling him. I was
powerful we'll be able to pay the debt. We'll be able to
Yeah.
be so strong and fight it. But
Yes.
And the only reason why I say that too is because our resources, man.
Yeah, resources.
Like imagine if we have one currency and then we're all able to like understand the resources we have all the way from Morocco down to South Africa,
South
right?
Africa.
And then we're able to like split them off, right? Like, hey, you're in Congo, right? You guys are making all this stuff, right? For all these batteries and stuff. And like you're shipping it to the UK, and the UK is only giving you this. And South Africa comes in and is like, hey, you're getting ripped off by the UK. I think you should ship it out to Ireland where they needed more and it's even further and they can't get it. So you'll get more money out of them. And this is how you guys could do it. You guys can use our ships. You guys can use our ports, right?
that's
To get it
true.
out. So, because our resources we have so much. Like,
But the one thing to add it to your currency question is that how many countries out there you could say that they have their currency is worldwide? You can use it everywhere in the world. There's not a lot of them.
There's none.
There you go.
There's none. But this is what I'm trying to say. To me, of course, you guys make a good point. But to me, I see it differently. I see it because one thing about life I understand is called communication. If we all, like right now, we all speak in English, even though we have all different tribes. You know what I mean? So we can understand each other, whatever we want to do. Now, the problem in our continent is we have so many tribes, of course. We have so many languages. You know what I mean? So people can understand each other. If that's how. Remember last time we had this conversation. I told you if I was to go to a place like Nigeria, I need someone from that area. So who can really show me around? Because someone could be planning some shit on me because I don't understand what he's saying. So I need someone who has my back. Why? Because of the language. It brings a problem. So if we can all speak the same language or the same tribe, right? Guess what? It makes everything easier to communicate. Now we can plan everything. We can plan currency. We can plan us, all of us having one leader. We can plan our resources. Like it makes everything easier through communication.
Let me ask you one question.
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, one of the most powerful things in the world in general, it's money.
It's money.
No,
Yeah.
Everybody understand money.
yeah.
No,
With currency, I think
Yeah.
it's
Currency
quicker.
is
It's a lot
powerful
quicker to
thing.
get there
It's a
than
lot
language.
quicker.
No,
It's
you cannot.
a quicker
you
language
cannot-
to understand
you
than
cannot
actual
say,
language
You
itself.
cannot say everybody understands money because you see, when people come in America from a different country, they usually struggle with money. The good thing right now is you have cards. I mean, you can just use a debit card. You can slide.
But those-
But I bet you one thing: when you first came here, though, before you could speak English, you understood
understand
what a
what-
dollar meant. Like, because my mom,
No,
like, she
no,
meant,
no,
like,
sir, I differ because I went to school. I went to school first.
But you went to school, but like our parents that like that
Trust
came
me,
out
what I
here that
mean.
never went to school, right? Like that straight went to work, right? They didn't understand English, right? They didn't really communicate well in English, and there's still parents nowadays that
They
really
narrow-
can't communicate well in English,
But
but
still
narrow
they
down
know
about
what the currency is. Like
Yeah.
they know the value
Trust
of
me.
money.
But
and
look,
just to
look,
go back,
The
this is one
currency
thing.
is
One thing.
powerful than you think, bro.
Yeah.
No.
And just
You-
one
I
thing
think
with
one
Africa
currency
before we
is
forget.
powerful.
Before we go, one thing I'm gonna forget it. With currency, like I think it's gonna be a faster way to get to where we need to get
Right,
to. Because
unity.
with Africa, there's so many languages.
Yeah. It
There's
doesn't
like,
really matter.
Like there's so many
Language doesn't
tribes, and
matter,
you
right.
can't. You gotta go to that tribe and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna strip you from this language that you've been
There you
speaking
go.
for so long."
There you go.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to give
Yeah,
up.
you give up.
That's harder than telling them, "Hey, this is the currency. This is the new currency you guys can use now."
See, the key
All
word-
you gotta do is just
wait,
change your
wait,
currency.
No, wait,
okay,
before
that's fine.
we
But
finish.
we'll let- but
Before
let-
we tell them. How do you tell them if they don't understand your language? Tell them this is the currency we're gonna use. You going back to me?
So you
Communication.
think-
we
okay,
have
hold
to
on.
communicate.
Hey.
All I gotta
Tell
say,
them.
Do you think?
Oh, now you're speaking Spanish.
No,
Wait.
I'm gonna take one. I'll take $1 of your
hold
own
on.
currency.
Do you think
and bring
every
you a new-
country in
a new-
Europe-
How
a
you
new
saying
currency?
that? You have to communicate.
Wait,
How
hold
you
on,
saying
hold on.
it?
Do you think every country in Europe speak the same language?
They don't. Yeah.
No, they don't.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying
but
in
they
our
understand.
continent, our biggest trouble is that because we
It's a
have that
currency-
problem.
We have a currency problem.
We don't
I
have
mean.
a currency in that country, and we have a
have
barrier when it
currency
comes
po-
to the language.
No, language doesn't really matter.
It
I'm
do
telling
matter.
You.
It
It's
do
a
matter.
We have a currency problem because we
No.
I
don't.
mean, language matter. I see what you're saying, but I
language
think,
matters.
but I think currency comes like first on
currency
top
is
of the
it's a
list.
language of international
No.
language. bro.
Cause see, I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. You
Money.
got in Africa, you got South Africa that speak English, Kenya that speak English, like Nigeria. You got people. I mean, even in Kenya, let's say for example, you guys speak English, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to currency, some people don't get it. Even you communicate with other Kenyans in English, some people don't get the currency. Say, but if the currency, everybody can get it. If you
like,
put value
Don't
in
you
that
speak
currency,
English the same thing?
You see
with-
what I'm saying?
The ones who are educated, those are the ones who get it.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
But that's
what
the
is
problem,
that? What is that
right?
education? It's that communication.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying like
It's that
you're
communication.
stripping their identity. Like language is identity. Like Arabic is part of my identity.
Yeah.
The country's currency is not part
Yeah,
of
it's
my
part of
identity.
your identity, yeah.
But like Arabic, that's me, right? And like
Yeah,
if
see
you
what
go
you
back
just
to like
said?
You're right.
especially like tribalism, right? You have like like Dinkins, for example, like they speak Dinka. They've been speaking Dinka for so long, like from generation to generation. That's part of them. That's what they're known. They're known as Dinkins, right? Because that's theirs. You can't just strip that away from them because that's like that's part of me. Like that's part of
to get rid of who they are because of the systemized.
No, you're changing everything. We're not stripping nothing. We bring in one language we can all speak. Like me, like you right now.
Is that you speak English though? Majority of African countries they do speak. The official language is English.
That's from colonization. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay. Let's go to national language. National language in your own country, right? Okay. Most countries don't have that. They speak their own things. You have so many people in your own country right now can't speak English.
Yeah, because there's the
or even French too. They can't speak French.
I mean, so what's the national language?
Well, French. They say French, yeah.
And you have who can't even speak French.
Yeah.
You see, that's the problem.
But you already have that though. But so that's basically your point, right? You want unity, right? For a country, okay, they already all speak French. Like, hey, French is the main language of this country, right? They already speak it, so that's already there. So it's not really
okay. But remember, now we're talking as a continent, not just a country. As a continent, so we can all have. It's the same thing as America. We all speak English, and we all have the same currency. It's the same exact thing we try to do. America, even though all the countries surrounding America they speak Spanish, but in America it's English. You come here, you have to learn English. You gotta speak English. It doesn't matter where you come from. English is the first language.
But you could get away in America without speaking English. To be honest with you, you don't like. I don't think you nearly like. You need to like. Okay, like maybe the basics. You don't. It's not really mandatory,
bro. I'm telling you, when you work in this corporate, if you're working in a real job, forget those basics underneath the table.
Culture as American.
You gotta speak English.
So, no, I see what you're saying though. But at the same time, dude. To have a strong economy within your currency that has value, it's actually more important than anything else.
You're right. I think currency is really important because currency is what makes the world go around. You feel me?
In this society, the modern life.
First.
I'm not refusing that, but I'm saying for us to get somewhere, you know what I mean, we have to communicate this to everybody in the whole continent.
So you don't think the way we are right now, we are not communicating? You think it's the issues of communication or the ego?
Bigger, both.
I think it's
both.
It's the ego.
It's the ego.
Both, even
the
English.
Ego and the greedy.
Yeah.
Even
the greediness
English.
of our own. I don't think it's a communication, but dude, come on, man. I cannot even the people that my own people. My own people that speak the same
language. Sometimes you can't get them. You can't do stuff with them.
I will communicate with them.
Like
I send the money.
We have people right now from Tanzania. When we speak English to them, they just look at us like, yo, when you gonna switch up to Swahili? That is communication problem.
I see what you're saying too.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't think that.
I think they're looking at the real, like what's really like. Because right now, let's say like,
what do those people speak in Egypt?
Arabic, right?
Exactly. So if I go over there, I don't speak Arabic, I have a problem, right?
No, you know what I mean. You don't have a problem. There's some people who speak English.
I do have a problem. Why? Because that's the point. I have to look for people who speak English.
Well, not really. We have devices, man. I'm sorry to get to it, but we have devices. So like the communication nowadays, communication is not really that. It's not big deal. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Because like
bro,
we're
talking about
technology.
We're talking about a third world though. This is a third world we're talking about. We're not gonna compare to America.
Of course.
That's what you're saying right now. That's America. No, we're not talking about that. Yeah, but this is a third world people. They're struggling. They're not having this stuff like we're having it.
Well,
so when you struggle, you need the money. The money is gonna solve your money is gonna solve your issue. Not the same communication.
But how are you gonna get the money? I have to communicate to you how we're gonna make this happen.
So what make you think?
What are people doing right now online? People are giving you information. How do you get information? They explaining to you. That's the communication. You're not gonna go to Africa and tell people, yo, I got currency, but how are we gonna get that?
But
you gotta communicate to me. So communication means teaching.
Right? There's a language translator as well.
But I think right now, if in order for Africa to get out of the hole that it is right now, it's the currency that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. It's the most. It's the money.
I think money. I think money could power communication. Communication can power. It could power money, but like the money could power the communication.
Because we live in a world.
A stronger effect.
Bro, money has already powered us already. We've been bought because of money.
We don't have one.
We try to get the tribe. We try to get us to be in one. Communication in every relationship. What's the first thing they tell you? We have to communicate. They don't tell you if you have money, you're gonna be good. They tell you communicate.
Hell
In
nah, because
relationship-
goddamn, if I'm rich right now, it don't matter who I got. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it do matter.
If I'm Jay-Z, I got $1 billion. I can get somebody that don't know how to speak English at all.
You're
Or,
right.
you
That's
know?
what they do
I can go to
anyway.
DR, grab somebody.
Yeah.
A Spanish girl, I just give her, you give her like 3 racks. You know, she's got to understand, cook,
those
clean.
are-
You know,
Money is
She's
power.
gotta- yeah. Money's its own language,
Yeah,
bro.
money's power right now.
Think
I
about
think-
it. The majority of powerful people, if they don't have money, they're not powerful.
Yeah.
Majority of people that actually they're well-spoken people, but without money, that's why we don't heard of them as much.
That is true.
Because-
but you see what you just say. If you have Jay-Z have that kind of money, listen. When you went in that room where people have money, that means you're equal. You're not gonna stand on another billionaire. We are equal. Now you have to communicate.
I'm gonna give you an example right now, right? If I walk into a room right now, we're all in the conference room. Let's paint a picture. We walk in the conference room, right? I come in, right? I put $3 billion on the desk and just sit down and not say nothing. Everybody's gonna look at me like, oh shit, he gotta be that guy. That's the guy. Because that's the guy with the money. He's the man. You know what I'm saying? So
Have you ever
money
heard
just drives.
Yeah.
Money's the driver to everything else. Like I don't even gotta speak English. A lot of these corporations, a lot of these companies in the US,
Bro.
the CEO, he's not goddamn American.
Yeah, you're still proving my point. That's what I'm saying. Do the same thing with same people in the same room. Everybody in that room has billions of money as well. Do the same thing. Nothing. They're gonna look at you like, all right, so what?
So if I own a company, right? You guys, everybody's my worker, right? All you guys work 9 to 5. You guys are not rich. You guys are not millionaires. You guys are not billionaires. You're an average. You make $60,000, $70,000 a year, right? And I come in and I put that $3 billion on the table, right? You're gonna be like, oh shit, you've never seen $3 billion before in cash. You're like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in your mind, something is gonna tell you like this guy has to be important. Like some way, somehow. I don't even have to say nothing. I don't gotta say nothing. I don't go. As soon as I put that money on the table, that's gonna flicker a light in your head. That's gonna be like, oh shit, this guy is about his business, or for him to have that much money, he has to be successful. You know what I'm saying? That's why money's tied to success. You don't gotta say nothing.
People, you see, sometimes I think people just have to have a logic of way of thinking. You see, not necessarily they have to go to speak the same language. Sometimes the logical people connect it in that way. The way you think, the way you think based on what your vision is, you can connect with somebody who has the same vision as you.
Absolutely.
True.
Sometimes how you work, you be in the room with the person that has idea what you're about to do. You don't connect at all.
And also, communication is more than just speaking, right? There's body language. You learn a lot from body language. You can learn a lot from
Exactly.
just seeing things, right?
Yeah.
For example, if somebody's talking to you and they cross their arms, they're getting uptight. If someone's talking to you and their arms is loose and they're cool, they're calm, cool, and relaxed. That's another way of communication. So speaking is not really always like
It's not always like
that.
But
Not
you
to say
see,
necessarily.
The
'cause
example you're giving is like kind of like individual kind of examples. We're talking about a continent. You're not just gonna show up and show people signs.
But that's the point of okay.
We have
so,
to communicate. Even Trump right now, he communicates. He's
You
always
might-
on the
you
news
might-
every
you might
time.
be able
if
to
I-
communicate,
you
but
gotta
have
communicate,
zero-
man.
You have no plan. You can communicate. You see, the president right now is a good talker. You see what I'm saying? Our current president is a good talker. Doesn't mean that he's actually a man of a plan.
No,
You gotta-
that changes everything. I'm just saying
That's what I'm
communicate.
saying. He communicates. That doesn't mean he's a man of action. He's out there.
I
going in
didn't
front
say
of-
anything about his action. See, that's action. Action is different. But I'm saying communication. You have to communicate.
There you go. That's what he does. He's a good of communicating. That doesn't mean that it's actually. You see, there's another thing. You communicate, and actually, what you communicate is actually being implement to the action.
Thank you. But that's changing. See, once he communicate, you can tell is bullshitting or is real.
How can you tell if you're pushing?
Okay.
Communicating.
Yes.
You sit down, you
Yes,
communicate.
let me give you an example.
people can lie to you. That's a part of communication.
People
Like,
are actually
people will lie to
good
you.
at what they
They will
do.
No,
lie
you
to
watch them. You watch them. Like,
No,
okay.
no.
Yes, you watch them.
Listen,
Listen.
all that
okay.
you could have voted by just creating one currency. The currency is stronger that can benefit everybody.
I'm not refusing that.
I'm not
saying we don't need the currency. I think that's the miscommunication you're not getting. Of course, we need the currency. I'm saying for us to get the currency, first of all, we need to communicate so everybody can understand what's the goal.
I see what he's saying
do?
too.
What are we heading to? What is our goal? Our goal is to get the currency. Our goal is for us to come as one and be a continent. Our goal is for us to have one leader. So I'm communicating this to all you guys so all you guys can understand what's the plan. But you're not just gonna pull up like, yo, this I have signs. I'm showing you signs. What is this? You know what I mean? Communication matters. Every single time we turn on the TV to listen to what they have to say, that's communication.
So you were saying communication, but then you were saying that to speak the same language. Not necessarily we have to speak the same language in order to actually communicate.
If everybody speaks English, that's one language. We all understand. If everybody speaks Swahili, that's one language. You all understand. That is what I'm talking about.
But in this modern technology, when people actually go to the conference, they don't actually speak the same language. There's a technology actually implemented there in order for you to actually understand what other people are saying. You see, all this, there's a global meeting they usually president go to, right? And those global meeting, not necessarily that you have to speak Russia, right? In order to understand it, there's a transaction involved, translations.
But you see, that's a meeting. You have to be a leader to lead the whole continent. Just like here in America, you have one president. You have to lead all these people. You have to lead all these countries. All these countries have to come as one.
Right.
So that for you to
speak
lead them,
the same language in order to come together as one.
First
you have to have a good attention, right? You have to have a good attention to things.
Of course.
And then when the good attention come to it, and all those things will line up correctly.
What is your good intention if I don't understand what you're doing? You have to speak to me.
Not really, because if I come in, right, and like I don't say nothing, right, and I'm a new investor, I come into Kenya, right, I start building houses, building roads, then your hourly rate goes from $10 to like $25 an hour, and now you're taking more money, back home, and your life is getting better. You're like, oh my God, he's not saying nothing but like things are getting done at the end of the day.
There you go.
With us as a continent, it's just we've been down for so long. We've been struggling for so long.
Let me ask you a question. Like you just mentioned, you came to the country, you built everything, right? Mm-hmm. At some point, you're gonna be doing news. People come to you. You have to do a news conference. You have to do probably a show like this, a podcast. That's communication because they have questions for you. Who are you? What are you doing? What's your intentions? Communication. It doesn't matter your actions. What you communicate to the people, they'll be like, we see what he's doing. You could be a thief. You could be building some stuff so you can rob us.
But that doesn't mean that you're gonna have to speak the same language. You can translate it. You're gonna have to speak the same language as the entire continent.
Man, but I'm telling you, but you're looking at it from like a person that's like you got it right, and you're not worried as much, right? But like as a poor person, do you think a poor person is gonna care like what you tell him as long as he has enough money to take back and take care of his family? He doesn't give a damn what language you speak. As long as he's able to take care of his family, he has more money than what he's seen, and he's living better. His life is improving.
Yeah,
I think the key part to this argument is life improvement. Like I feel like the currency is gonna improve life way quicker than the same language is going to improve life as a whole.
And this is
I think you guys are saying the same thing I'm saying, but you guys are not getting me. Right now,
I'll give you an example.
Like right now, listen. Like right now, let's say for example, in my country, right, you have people go to work, right? You go to a restaurant, they have people who serve you, like the waitress and stuff like that, right? When you go over there and give them money as a tip, you could $10, $5. To them, they see that's like a lot of money because they don't understand the value of that money. Someone has to teach them. They don't understand it. They get the money, they're so happy. Oh my God. Woo! They look at you like you're almost like Jesus. And to you, because you got the knowledge, you understand everything, it's like,
Wait. So what? So you saying that? They shouldn't be thankful even because it's small?
Because they don't understand it. Like because you guys keep talking about money, they don't even understand that.
I don't have to understand if it's a better situation than what I have.
Hold on a minute.
You have to understand it because that's not a better situation. You think it's a better situation, but it's not. What is that money gonna do for you?
No.
Pretty much nothing.
I think baby, you're looking at it in a very different way, bro.
Oh,
because
you're confusing
you're looking at it a different way, dude. An extra, okay, that's an extra dollar you did not have. You should be thankful for the extra things that you're not expecting, no matter what.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I just told you the guy appreciates you so much because he didn't have that money.
It should,
of
which
course.
it should,
because he didn't have it before.
Because he didn't have it before. But
so what's the problem with that?
Me right now, if you give me money, right? If you give me like that $10, I don't have that $10. But when you give it to me and the way you give it to him, I will not appreciate to you as much as the way he does it. Because I understand money. That $10 will not take me far, even though I need it. It's not going to take me too far.
But that doesn't mean that you should be thankful.
I just told you that. I'm going to be thankful, but I'm not going to be thankful like him. Because he does not understand the value of the money. I'll tell you thank you, but I do
still.
understand this is $10. It's not going to take me far. They're looking at you like you Jesus, like yo shit, nigga, I need to kiss your ass right now.
But still,
But Elon doesn't have to share all his ideas on how he got to billions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's our job to go ahead and search for that, right? At the end of the day, if we want it, right? But I mean, if he's doing something positive that's helping us, I'm not tripping about it. I mean, if I'm that waitress you're talking about, right? If everybody in the restaurant came in and was just giving me 5-5, and you're the person that came in, you didn't say nothing to me, you didn't say hi to me, you were like, I couldn't really read you, but before you left the 20. I'm like, oh shit, he left the 20, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad for that, because that situation,
in our world,
Are you gonna walk outside and live and follow that person? Like, oh my God, yo,
No.
you like Jesus to me right now. I got
I'm
20.
just gonna take the 20 and I'm gonna be thankful for it, and I'm just gonna be gone.
All right,
It's
that's
not
my
like-
point. Exactly, because you understand 20 will not take you that far. Even
But
though
we
you
didn't
need it.
communicate though. We didn't communicate. You're talking about communication,
Yeah.
right? You're saying communication
I
aspect is
was
important.
showing you two examples. That's one example. When you communicate, listen, again, I mean, everything I believe is communication. Even for you guys to come here, you have to communicate. I told you guys, yo, we do such and such. So you came over here.
I'm telling you right now, if
Communication.
you would have cashed out me $1,000, it would have said nothing, and shit.
You will not show up.
You
You will not show up. You see, end of the story.
If you cash me
will show-
$1,000, you're like, yo,
yeah, you show people
Paul,
money, they will
I'm
not
in
show
there.
up.
Just
Exactly.
I'm not gonna say they're not gonna show up, but like
They will not show up.
It's
what do you think? What do you think when you go to work, you get paid after you work? You don't get hired. They give you money right now. Then they say, come Monday. You go to work on Monday till Friday, then you get paid because you're not gonna show up.
No, because I did the work though. It
No,
has nothing to do with
I didn't
communication.
think you understand me. I'm saying, like I'm saying right now, you just say if I give you $1,000, right? I told you you wouldn't show up.
I don't. See,
That
I
probably
think
wasn't a
you
good
go to
example.
do-
But like when it comes to the
God,
but
take a
but
shot,
no
nigga.
but no but back to it, when it comes to it, like
you, my nigga.
that communication aspect is not really important.
It's not really.
It's not
to
really
be frank
important at
with
all.
you, It's
Yo,
not really that important.
Have you ever noticed, right?
if you guys are you
if you ever
same
noticed,
color.
of course you guys you must have seen this before. When you go somewhere, when people don't understand the language you speak, like when you speak in your own or your mother tongue language, and then they're around you, they always look at you funny. It's like, what are you talking about? And they always feel like you're talking about them because they don't understand what you're
Yes,
saying.
I
Man,
agree.
but I have money in my pockets, they're not gonna think a damn thing.
I think we.
Oh, they will.
Remy,
no,
I
they
think-
won't.
I think-
No,
I
they
think
will
you-
not.
But
If I have the most money, I bet you they're gonna try to come sit next to me and try to be like, they're trying to understand, like, hey, like what's going, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, yo, wealth is the driver of everything. Currency is the
I
driver
think
of
you are
everything.
using. I think you are using.
No, you see, no, I think you guys are. I keep confused what I'm saying. The point is, the end goal is for us to be one. Once we understand what's going on, like right now, we have so much shit going on in Africa. If we can all understand what's going on, like he didn't know what's going on in Congo. He just understood it right now, right? So that's what I'm saying. If we speak one language, one tribe, one language, all of us, people can understand what's going on. I'm pretty sure even right now in my own country, there's people who don't understand what's going on in Congo.
that doesn't.
We
mean-
speak
that
the same thing. You tell them what's going on. They
But-
watch the news. They don't understand English.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but there's so many media of all different languages, but you can look into.
Let me. I see what you're saying.
But
It's one issue, but I think
I
I,
don't
mean
think it's
like.
important
But my
at
thing is
first.
right. You mean like we're trying to figure out like a way out of the hole right now, right? Would the language be the first option, or the currency would be the first option? That's what we need to
That's what we need to
understand.
focus on.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
the
To the main point. We gotta get.
You are talking about
Yeah.
the other thing.
Yeah.
Talking about
So we gotta,
goddamn,
you know, say, because you know we in the
tips
hole
and
right
shit.
now, right? Everybody agree that we're in the hole, right? We are all in the hole.
Yeah, we close to hell
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
We close to hell right now.
6 feet under.
Hey man, appreciate y'all boys, man.
We're like,
Good vibe, man.
yeah.
But yeah, as a unit, man,
Woo.
I just think that with our resources, bro, we need the currency first.
Yeah, the
'Cause our
currency.
just our resources, man. I just keep going back to
Yeah.
saying this. I don't want to sound like a.
Because not to cut you, because you see, our resources are tied up to our currency value, right?
Yes.
Not to the language.
No.
You see what I'm saying? You see where it comes to
I get
the,
that.
the point.
I get that.
And that's the mic drop right
Everybody,
there.
yeah, everybody
That's the mic
want the
drop. That's
mineral.
the period
the
at the end of
mineral.
the, you feel me? At the end of the sentence.
Let me put it like this, right? You see, when elections comes around, in my country, and we talked about this last time, the most people, like the tribe with the most people, they're the ones who gets to rule. And listen, when whoever is in the election, whoever is running, whoever they know we have more people. They go back to their people and they speak their own language. So me watching the news, I don't even understand what he's saying because he's speaking his own language and he's talking to his people. So whatever he's telling them, I have zero clue. Maybe he's telling them I'm the enemy. I come around, you kill me. But if we speak in the same language and take that tribe shit up to the side, I'll understand everything they're saying. Then I'll be like, oh no, I'm not saying what he's saying. We're on the same page. But
Okay.
But if you go global, but you have a national language that you can speak, right?
But Blaise, let me
most
break.
of them probably don't understand it. If we can all speak that, I'm telling you, globally, because numbers makes a difference. Numbers matters. In my country, our tribes are being defeated because of numbers. That's the same thing we talked about last time. You say, remember, numbers.
Yeah.
So if we can all come together and speak that same thing, because remember, when we say currency, we'll be going against the Western.
Yeah,
If a lot of us don't understand what's going on, the Western's going to finish us.
yeah.
We speak one, we know exactly what we're doing, we know our goal, our aim, we will go against them. Because they're gonna let the currency just be they will not let the African currency be strong when they're just watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when we communicate, we're gonna set up everything. Like we know what they're gonna do, they're gonna fight back, so we're gonna be ready. And then we're gonna create our own currency. That communication is gonna make us stronger because we know exactly what's going on. America has one language.
I ain't gonna lie. From out of all the shenanigans you said, that's probably like the most like pinpoint thing that I was like, okay, that has like the plan overall having
I mean, we're not saying
one unit plan. Okay,
Yeah.
It's
that's
not
agreeable.
shenanigans.
But
That-
I still think currency is over it, man.
I think-
But you're
Currency-
saying that the West
Yeah.
might fight back and the West might not want that to happen, but it doesn't change the fact that I think the currency aspect thing is still going to be more powerful.
It's the most important thing.
Because I think you're looking at it
'Cause
locally,
I think the tribes.
Because let me tell you, right? You buy the land. How did they get the land? They buy the land to the currency, not the language. You see,
You
what I'm
didn't go to a
saying?
realtor like, yo,
You see what
I
I'm
speak
saying?
English, so
Yeah,
give me this land.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you.
Okay,
the
so
money.
let me
What
ask-
you
let's
say
ask
is
you a
like
question.
it. What you say? Go ahead.
So let me ask you. So if it were changed to one language, it could be.
Right now, I probably speak Swahili. I'll choose Swahili.
Yeah, but it is a Swahili that you can take it to because
You're stripping the culture, man.
Yeah, but you see now some people.
You're not finna go to Sudan and tell them speak
Yeah,
Swahili. I'll
speak
be
Swahili.
like, what?
You see what I'm saying?
It's like,
some
okay,
people will
and
not
see, okay,
agree.
That's the
Speak
same
Swahili.
thing. That's
How
the
is
same
that
thing
gonna
as
stop
a
the
Sudan
problem
president
internationally?
giving up his presidency so we can have one leader. It's the same shit.
So okay, we
bro.
understand each other. Okay, let's
It's the same
let's
shit.
break
You
it
see
down.
the struggles we're gonna have.
Yeah, I see what I'm saying.
The struggle we're
'Cause
gonna have because for us to have one leader, guess what? All these other presidents have to go.
You're right.
Wait.
But you know
It's
with
the
the
same shit I'm telling you.
No, with currency
But
you
with
can
the
still have different
currency-
leaders.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the
You don't
same
have to
leader.
have the same-
You'll still
No,
keep your own leader,
we
but
want,
have.
we want one leader. We cannot have all these leaders. We have one leader.
Bro,
Okay,
you're
let's-
not. You're not.
But you're
I'm
not
gonna be
solving
honest with you right now.
anything.
Yeah.
You're not gonna strip the leaders, or you're not gonna strip someone from their native tongue. Like
You're right.
this is their native tongue. Like
You're right.
that's hard. That's embedded in their DNA. Like
But-
that's hard to
You're
say.
right. That's
And
what
he
I'm
made a
saying.
good
Let's just-
point.
yeah.
Like currency is not tied to your DNA. Like
Yeah.
if America today comes in and they're like, "Yo, we're not gonna use the dollar no more. We have a new something coming in." I don't give a damn. That's not really gonna hurt me. But if they
Exactly.
come in, they're like, "Hey, we're not gonna be speaking English no more. We're gonna start speaking French." Everybody now, I'm gonna have to relearn French. I'm gonna have to do a lot more to try to learn French than just getting used to a new currency, right? Or
You're
one
right.
dominant currency, basically.
But you still okay. Right now, you speak your other language, right?
Of course.
Exactly. So did it hurt you? Does it hurt you?
No, but it's gonna take longer though. That's what I'm saying. It took me a long time to learn English.
Everything we're talking about right now is going to take longer. It's not. It's going to happen overnight.
Okay, it took me a shorter time to learn what money is in the US than it did English. I knew what money was. Like I understand like what 50 cents was. Like I know like I could go to this corner store and give this guy 50 cents and that guy, I don't have to tell him anything. I'll go with my candy and give him 50 cents and he'll take the 50 cents and I'll take my candy. I'm out. There's no words been, communicated or nothing. That money communicated that, hey, I am getting this. This is mine and I have the money for it. So I'm good to go, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
You took the candy, right?
Yes.
You say 50 cents. we went to pay for it. There probably was tax money to it.
Of course.
All right.
See,
So-
now,
wait,
you're
wait,
reaching,
no,
you're
no,
reaching,
no,
you're reaching,
no, wait,
you're
let me answer-
reaching.
let me answer my
You
question,
are
right?
reaching, you are reaching, you are reaching.
They do have to communicate to you like, yo, we need more money.
No, you are reaching, you are reaching, you're reaching now,
Oh
you're
my God.
reaching, you're reaching,
Communication is
you're
in there.
reaching, you're reaching, you are reaching, you are reaching.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna go with the amount that's needed, but you're reaching, though. You're reaching. I know what
Yo,
you're
you
doing.
gotta give it up to me.
They said you gotta add the tax. You gotta pay Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah,
Sam
but,
need his money too.
That's
you know?
true. Oh
Come
man.
up with your pocket, nigga.
Man. Oh, bro, I'm about to cry, bro.
Yo, man, you got me
damn.
sweating over here too,
Oh,
man.
man.
This is getting
Oh,
me
bro.
hot, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like, you know, I could say that, like, I feel like we're passionate about this. Like,
Yeah.
that's, and it's love, you know, when
Of
you're in the
course,
same
of course,
room,
of
especially
course.
with, like, you know, people from the same, you know, continent as you, right? And I can
You're
tell
right.
from
Yeah, yeah.
everyone in this couch, like,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
very passionate about this. Like, you are standing on business
Yeah.
about this communication
Oh, yeah.
thing. And you know, we standing
I
on business
know.
over here.
On the
You standing
currency.
on business too.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you know what I'm saying?
We're so passionate about
We're
it 'cause
so
it means
passionate
much
about
to
it.
us.
You're right. Because we know, like, I mean, we know what. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I'm saying, like, from looking at the diaspora point of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can see where this is going. Like, we live in a capitalism society, and
Of course.
capitalism requires money.
Of course.
Capitalism. That's what I'm saying.
It's required
Democracy.
to have a strong
Yeah.
a currency of economy.
Exactly.
in your
Democracy
own-
comes with,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Capitalism
Because
comes
the
with
world trade
development, it
control
comes
everything.
with currency.
So even if you speak the same language as a continent, but you still have you have to
Yeah.
understand the world is involved outside of your own continent.
You're
so
right.
everything is outside. So for you to speak Swahili, how are you gonna go communicate outside of that?
No, remember, we know before we do that, before the outsiders, we have to. I'm saying come as
Right.
one.
Which
I'm
will
saying,
come in time.
yeah,
I think once we come together as we speak the one language, which is the language everybody understand, money.
Yeah, money.
All these
I
things
think
will
money.
line up correctly.
With money, the language will come, bro. I'm telling you. Because think about it. First of all,
you gotta take it off the greediness
Yeah.
of people.
See,
When the greediness of people
that's-
cut off, and then people will actually start valuing
that's the
things
point.
that actually supposed to be valued.
See, I like that you just mentioned right there, the greedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take away the greedy. How do you take that? You have to communicate. Teach these people
No,
to take
by
away the
increasing-
greedy.
by
Remember, right
creating
now,
a
right now,
GDP.
right now, you mentioned about the currency. The people who are winning when it comes to currency is who? The government. They're taking all the money. Okay, I think we talked about this last time. We had last year. We had our country was getting shut down because the government were doing shit behind our backs that people didn't know. You know what I mean? People had no idea. But once people started communicating, they woke up. They were like, "Oh shit!"
You mean when the truth came out?
How did that come out? Communication. When the people start communicating, the truth came out. How did they find out? Communication. Guess what? The Gen Zs went to the street. Communication matters, my guy. It's a big deal. Even right now, like
Which I agree with that. But at the same time, Zach, you have to understand the World Bank run everything.
yeah, you're right.
I'm
You're
not
right.
refusing
You see what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah, of course
For
it
you
does.
for you to change the entire dynamic about your economic wise as far as the country itself, you need to understand how currency hold the value of a currency that hold powerful.
Yes.
It's so important, brother.
Yeah, the currency
If
is
you really look into it, research more, and actually understand it, really, it's actually way more powerful than you think.
You're right. Because let me
again,
And
that's
this
what
is
I'm
why they've been be able to control us for so long is because our
Yeah.
currency has no value. We got no world trade anyway.
No, we
Not
being
because we cannot
controlled.
speak the
No,
language
we being
everywhere on
controlled
our
so
own.
much because of misinformation. We didn't have the information. Also, we've
Yeah.
been put down. We had no information, my guy.
Those are a narrative.
Nah,
There's
no,
narrative.
sir.
being
But I'm
spread.
saying,
No, I
like, we
highly
have the
disagree.
information now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We
Now,
have the information
now,
now.
that's what we're making a
But
difference.
so what
But,
do you think?
but that
makes-
hasn't changed.
You're
No,
right.
they,
That
they,
changed.
it's things.
Wait,
remember,
hold on.
change is
So
not
you don't
overnight.
think you don't
But
think
like it's not happening
But
as quick
you
if
don't
it
think
was the
we
same
never-
currency. Though. That's what I'm trying to
Because
tell
they
you.
already
It's not
put
an issue
fear
of-
in us.
of-
Okay, currency.
They
okay.
put fear in us.
Okay, currency is like the fast lane, right?
Yeah,
When you're
currency
doing
is the
80,
fast
lane.
Da 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 to
Yeah,
change.
it's the
okay,
fast lane.
Yeah, language, like communication. That's probably like a slow lane. Like we'll get there, but it's
You're
gonna
right.
take time.
It takes time.
But
'Cause-
for now, what
yeah,
we
for now
need,
is the
bro,
currency, bro.
We need to
You
get
don't
in
think
that.
that
We need to
our
get
own
in that
people,
lane,
people
bro.
had
fast
information
lane.
from long time
'Cause
ago?
think
No,
about
they
it.
didn't.
They just
You
will not be able to, dude. What's the reason why they will be able to? They're always assassinating.
because
people,
Blaze,
most
I have a
important
question,
people.
right? So
Bro, because
let
it's,
me.
it's the first thing. If they know you have more information, they take you out. They make sure you don't have information. That's why people leave how they leave, because they don't have information. What do they say the first thing to a black man? Put the stuff on the book because he can't read. Because information is right there. If you don't have the information, guess what? You're not gonna perform.
I think what you meant to say, our own people had a understanding how to change our poorer narrative to a better life, which that's what you mean by information, right? There are some people actually have very smarter that people actually they understand the World Bank the way it works.
You're right.
What they wanted to be able to change it.
What's the number to those?
Not
This is small
necessarily they
percentage.
had a way of communicating information. They're understanding the way from get out people out of poverty.
You're right. You're right.
But then, so they had to change their own direction. I don't know that's what you mean by that. Yes, and that's why they would be able to get assassinated, because it's the only way. Because back in the day, the majority of the leader, they were asking for nationalism to be fully independent in all sectors.
Exactly.
But they were getting assassinated because of that. Look at it. Malcolm X actually went back to Africa from like a long time ago.
The man.
Asking for nationalism. He says the only way black people ever be independent or fully is asking for nationalism.
What's this right here?
To be fully independent.
It's the phone, right?
What's the number one thing about this form?
It's
It
used
give
to
us
communicate.
what? Exactly. So why do we have this everywhere in the world that you go?
Because people use Facebook and TikTok more than they communicate on it.
Yeah, but
If we're being honest with each other.
exactly. But what's the number one
It's
thing?
in poverty.
Yeah, what's the number one
keep
thing
it
that
poor.
this thing gives us?
What it was made for?
What,
If you're
information?
asking what it was
If you're
made
asking what
for,
it's made for.
yeah, it's made for
Right
communication.
now, if you want anything, you're gonna Google right here. You're gonna look it right here. Information. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not denying that.
It's
Yeah.
the most important thing,
But my
guy.
thing is, right,
Okay,
I
when
have
your
a
rent is
question.
due, this month, go pay your landlord
go
with
pay-
that phone. See
so-
what your landlord
Oh
says.
yeah, I will communicate to you. Yes, you're right. Yo,
Give your landlord your
yes,
phone. Be like,
I will text you, ask you for some money. Yo, I'm broke right now. Look
Yeah.
out for me. Information,
Yeah.
got me money.
But I have a question though. You know, said they
Bro,
probably.
what are you talking about?
But we
Yo,
gotta tackle. Let me.
I can even, I can form a group on this
Yeah.
right here and tell people my problem, and they can give me money. Information
Why
sells
are you
me.
asking for money? Is because why are you asking for money in the first place?
No, I was showing to him an example because
Because what? Because say
The
because
economy
it's what?
was not right because you're not
Because
giving
it's
it to
important,
afford it.
right? Why you asking for it? Because it's important, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Currency important.
But I don't have it. How do I get the money?
There you go. By increasing
You need to have it first.
Yeah,
bro.
you need to have it.
You need to have a way of playing
Niggas are
first.
rich right now. Come
No,
on, man. Fuck
you
outta
need to
here.
have it first.
Niggas are rich
You-
right now.
you-
Fuck
you
outta
need
here.
that to be the important
Fuck
part.
outta
You
here.
need that to be the important part.
Nah, nigga. If your landlord right now wants something from you, what does he do?
Goddamn, I'm not gonna pay him with communication. What the fuck?
Nah,
That's
you're not gonna pay with
pay him.
communication.
But if I
No,
pull out that money,
if
it's
they
gonna be
want
good.
something from you, they text you. They tell you, next week,
let me
or
ask
next
this,
month,
right?
they're gonna raise the rent.
So okay, let me tell you
So
this.
that's currency. You need currency.
You
'cause-
need
No,
currency, man.
So-
he communicated so you can know what's going
Yeah.
on.
So if-
but he also tell you that you need to get your currency up
Yeah.
because the rent
Exactly.
is
Next
going
time you
up.
better
How did you know about the currency? How did you know it's gonna
Yeah.
go
Another
up?
week.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
How did you know the money's
Don't
gonna
tell them
come?
another week.
Because he communicated to you, so you
You're
can
right.
know.
Dog.
But okay,
bro,
no, but
communication.
yeah, okay.
No, currency.
Currency. Okay, let me break it. You said communication,
my
right? You just said that the landlord asked for.
Tell them the only
Hold
nigga
on,
in this room that's holding this
hold
shit
on.
down like this.
Let's go. Hold on.
But he's not going.
Let me ask. You just said the landlord want money, right? Next week. You said communication, but what's the context that you just said? Is what the money. The landlord thinking about not the communication.
Yeah, what does he
He's
want?
talking about the money part.
He's what?
He's talking about the money
Thank you.
part.
Talking, communication. He's
Yeah.
talking.
But
Communication.
what's the most
Communication.
valuable thing right now? What's the most valuable
No.
What's the most valuable thing?
Communication.
No, he's not. He doesn't care about the communication.
No,
he cares about his
He
money.
does, because he's trying to make sure he get his money. How is he going to make sure he get his money? He has to communicate to you so he can get his money.
Even if you don't communicate with him, you're still gonna get his money somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Because
You're
he's
gonna
the
be on the
landlord.
streets.
He's the landlord.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
Pay up.
landlord.
You're like, yo, I need my
We-
money now.
because he's the landlord.
Be like, yo,
No.
Yeah.
bro, I need to sit down
that's
with
not
you.
how
He's the
It's
landlord,
not-
right?
Give me until next
Yeah,
week.
that's
No,
what
he
I'm
gonna be
saying.
like, next week you gonna be in the street. Like,
exactly.
no.
See, that's
He's
communication.
getting dull,
So
bro.
okay, I have a question, guys. Right, I have a question.
I think we-
Because what you saying, right? What you saying is, I agree what you're saying. We're not saying that you're wrong, but my thing is for Africa to get out of the hole that we are. I think the currency is more important because let me tell you, if we spoke the same language, we're gonna be some broke ass Africans speaking the same language.
Exactly.
Don't so
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No. Seriously.
I mean,
Yeah.
majority of people out there speak the same language.
Because we know financial literacy. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna be so broke speaking the same language because the financial literacy. We don't know about the financial literacy.
Speaking the same language.
That's what I'm saying.
Still going through the same process.
We're talking about the
You guys
currency.
sound like if we speak one language, that's the end of the story. I didn't
No,
say that.
no,
We
we're
move
not saying
forward.
that.
I
We're-
just told you if we understand what's the plan, because communicate, we're not supposed to
But
plan.
what you're saying
like
is-
you said, we're okay.
We're
what's
in
the
a
next plan?
hole.
We
We're
want to
in a
understand
hole.
financial literacy, so we're gonna learn about that. You sound like you're just saying if we understand, if we speak one language, that's the end of the stop.
No, I didn't
But
say
you're
that.
saying communication
didn't-
first.
Yeah.
We're saying currency first.
Currency first.
I'm saying
I'm sorry to cut
communication.
you off.
I'm-
Yeah,
I'm-
no,
I'm
you're
saying
right.
Communication
You're
first.
different. Currency first. Like
Communication first.
No
for
matter
me.
what, even I wake up on my sleep, it's currency.
currency, man.
It's-
I'm telling you.
Brother,
It's good,
go out
but
there.
even for you right now, your wife will text you where you are right now. You're not gonna say I got money.
Okay.
But if you give her money, she gonna ask you where you at right now. I dare you
I'm
right
hustling
now.
my-
Yo,
I'm hustling.
give her like 4,000. She'll be like, okay, that's it. You don't even gotta tell her where you
Yeah,
at.
that for a few
Okay,
minutes. Then
let
later
me-
on, it's on.
So let's
Send her
say,
another 4,000.
let's say we go out.
Just keep sending money until she
let's
stops.
say we go
Nah.
out and the three are women, and I'm here buying them liquor and I'm buying them this and buying that. Who's actually more? Who has to have more chance to go sleep with that woman?
Okay.
The one
Oh
that's spending the
yeah, I
money.
know.
Not the one that's like, hey, yo,
Yeah.
how you
Hey,
doing? How you doing today?
I
So,
know.
how was work today?
I know.
Yeah,
Not the.
Hey, I'm here blowing money.
I
shut
know.
up. Like,
You're like you're not.
she speak my language.
Yeah,
That money's her
exactly.
language.
Money's the
Language.
language, bro.
Yo, money talks. I know you heard this. Money talks, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Money
Money
talks.
Yes, money talks.
Listen,
But
money has its own way of
money
communicating,
talks.
right?
You see what you just say? Those are just hoes.
You're right.
Yeah, you pay the hoes. Yeah, you pay the hoes right
What
there.
you mean?
Yeah, nigga, you throw money to the hoes,
What
nigga.
you
Come on,
mean?
man. Yeah, you throw money to the hoes.
Majority of women.
You're not gonna give me an example of a hoe, nigga. Come on, man.
Yo,
Oh man.
trust me.
Oh, bro, I am dead. You guys are killing me. Here,
Nah,
man.
for
You
real.
said-
But yo, you know what?
doing it for the hoes.
Listen, what you say, right? I give example. Like I'm gonna touch up another subject today. Okay, so I give an example. Like here in America, right? They say African American bring about $1 trillion in economy. But they speak the same language, right? They speak English. But how come we still in a worse condition?
yeah, because we
You
don't-
know what I'm saying? You heard that before.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Systematic racism, yeah.
I mean, but you see, now you say systematic, but I'm talking about that's come with the language, right? Because everybody speak English, but we did not speak in the economic language. There's a difference.
Yes.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you see, make
Yeah.
that song too as well, bro.
Huh?
Economic language.
The
I like
economic
that.
language, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. See, now that's deeper.
Yeah.
Because you see, it's so many things that falls into that. Because
Yeah.
first of all, we're not together. We are lost as people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so many factors to answer that.
You're
You know
right.
what I mean?
No,
but
no.
again, like you just mentioned, we bring a lot of money.
Yeah, bring a lot of money.
But look at us as a black of or at
And
least
only
Black
13%, right? Because that's what they said. They only African American only make 13%.
We more than that.
pop.
We more than that.
But I'm saying, according to the systematic thing that they're saying it's about 13%.
Mm-hmm.
They don't put 50%. 13% bring it to $1 trillion economically. So that means everybody, the whole black should be good, bro. The whole neighborhood, everybody should have money.
If we kept it,
If we kept it in
that
a-
house,
in a-
Economy- no, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
lang-
we're not helping ourselves.
and that's the same way with
We're helping
Africa
them.
too.
And that's what
You feel
that's
me?
what's going to your point. He's saying that the communication is not actually the main thing.
Yeah,
we
the
should
main
focus
thing.
in. We need to speak the same,
Same
economic
economic
language.
language, yes.
To me, you see, that's why I even have this right here. It's called a podcast that I teach people. When they watch this show, they get information. We talked about this before. I told you the way to teach people, even right now, if you look at society people are getting lost because they're not being taught the right things. You know what I mean? The right communication is not being communicated to them. That's why people got shit backwards and society is going the other way around. Shit that we used to know that is right before is wrong right now.
wrong right now.
I have a show like this. I can talk to the people and I can
Which-
teach them.
which
They can
you are
learn.
not wrong.
And they can learn through communication.
You are not wrong, but we are looking at it in a
You're right.
much bigger picture
Bigger
than what
picture.
you're saying.
Yeah.
That's I know it.
Which you are not wrong, but we're looking at it in
Yeah,
a much
in a
bigger because
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
we need that.
There's a
we
World
need
Bank.
everything. Everything we mentioned right now, we
but
need
you're talking
them.
about first.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
why
Yes.
we're gonna
But to me,
prioritize that first than what
Yeah.
you're asking, because what you're asking is almost an impossible task. You know, you're asking
everything I'm
somebody
asking
to
is
drop. You're asking somebody to drop their dignity, the identity of themselves because of it's for the sake of your unity. Bro, come on, that's a losing your own culture because of what?
Nah, I don't think so.
Huh?
When especially when COVID happens. Remember, before COVID happens, if someone was mentioned, the world will stop. You could have been get the fuck out of here, nigga. You saying shit that will never happen in a trillion years. Guess what? The world stopped. So what I'm saying can be done. It's just we can't see it right now. It can't make any sense in our mind right now, but it can be done.
It can be done. You're
Yes.
right. It
You can never
definitely
say
be done.
this is just impossible because we can't see it.
I mean, it's not.
COVID, we never saw it. We never saw the world stop, but it stopped.
I mean, as soon if you really understand the world economic itself, I
Yeah.
don't think you even come here with having this conversation.
Because the whole world,
with-
bro, like let me tell you, it's about the economics,
No,
bro.
I'm not refusing that. I mean, the way you
It's
guys
more
put it,
important
it
than
sounds like I'm
language.
refusing that.
No, it's more
no,
important
you're
than
putting
language.
that,
but you're
you're
putting that before currency.
And
Yeah,
remember,
That's
before
why-
before economy,
It's not like we don't
before
understand
currency,
you. We
remember
do
there was a barter
understand
trade.
There's a what? I'm sorry.
Barter trade. People are doing that. Remember?
Oh, the borrowing
barter trade?
system.
Yes,
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
There was no currency
No
that time.
currency. You're right. I see what
And
you
they were
People
trading,
want-
and they were
Yeah.
trading, and they didn't know they didn't speak the same language. Trading. Still,
If I go to
they
the
they use the
border, I don't
trading.
speak the-
That trading was the currency.
Yeah, the
That
currency.
that's the money aspect.
Yeah. There was
no
you had
currency.
people. You had people trading from what? From the Caribbeans to people in Africa, and they did not speak the same language,
Same
right?
language,
But
yeah.
they know, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm
No.
gonna give you this, and you're
give
gonna
you-
give me
Yeah.
that, and we're
I'll give
okay.
you a
And
true
that's
story,
it.
right?
Yeah.
How did they know that?
They didn't speak the same language.
How did they know that?
They looked at it in vacuum,
Then-
bro.
Yeah, the
How
value.
did they
But
know
they
that?
didn't speak the same language, though.
How did they know that?
But they didn't speak the same language. They looked at it in value.
value.
In value. Do I need this? Okay.
Yeah.
The
No,
Indians.
They're different continents. How am I looking at your shit? I'm in a different continent.
Okay. Great example. The Native Americans and the Pilgrims when they first came, right? They didn't speak the same language. The Pilgrims knew that hey, we need food, and the Native Americans, but they needed guns. So what they did, the Pilgrims gave them guns. The Native Americans gave them food. It's what I need at that time. If you have it, right? If I'm in a stage of need right now, right? And I need water, and you need a shirt, and I have two shirts, right? And we don't speak the same language. I'm just gonna give you the shirt. You're gonna give me the water.
That's it.
At the end of the day,
There's
if
no
it costs
skill.
pointing,
There's no skill
if
to that.
there's no talking, if I'm just like. I see you don't have no shirt, and I'm like, I got two shirts, and I like pull up the shirt, and you see the shirt, you're like, that's the shirt. How did cavemen do it? Cavemen didn't fucking communicate.
I don't know.
Cavemen didn't
Yeah,
fucking
you're right.
communicate.
They had their own
Let me give
communication.
you- so let me give you the story based on like how because of we were talking about the war, right? So when that war broke out, when I was occupied like 7 or 8, right? So we ran away from I'm from the Moba. There's a village called Moba. So that's where I'm from in the east area. That's where I was born in Congo, Moba. You can look it up too and search. So when that war broke out, and we pretty much just spread up and run everywhere, which I happened to run into a family, and that family took me over, and then we actually ran to the border of Zambia. And that border of Zambia, I didn't speak Nyanja. I didn't speak it, but they knew based on where we're running from somewhere. They said, okay, but we know, they told us, you're not going to enter in a country where our own people live. We don't know your background. So what they did is they put us in the most dangerous forest. We just went in that dangerous forest. We didn't know what to eat. We didn't know what to even feed ourselves. So one thing, we start investigating. Like how far from actually the people from the Zambia, how far are they? That we can start creating something to trade with something we need. So one thing we did, we try to cultivate, like try to create farming, we started investing in farming. So I would do, when I was 10 years old or 9 years old, I would take what we have, which was corns. We produce corns, and I would take the corns on my bicycle and I would go to the border of Zambia. I didn't speak shit, but I know what I need in order for our people to survive. I trade in my corns to get oil and to get certain things what I need. I'll get meat. I'll trade in meat to get oil. I'll get all the type of stuff. Once I get that, I didn't care about the value, whatever what I have. It has no value because we cannot feed ourselves with it. So it has no value. But what I understand it was for me to get what I want for my people to feed ourselves. That's the only language that I understand. So I went there to the border and I get what I want. That's it. I trade it. I go back to my own family. My family are happy, not even asking a question of a communication or anything. When you need something, you go there and just trade in whatever that you need to trade in. You
Let
don't
me
need
ask
to
you
go
a
out there
question.
and
Like you say,
negotiate
you
with
went to
them.
that country, right? You went to that place, and the people knew you guys just came in, right?
Yeah.
You think they didn't communicate amongst each other and find out you guys actually?
No,
You
they
don't think
knew
they
that
did?
they knew that our condition. They knew our condition the way we are one with the
They
stuff
just
on our
knew.
head. Of course.
They just knew it.
Yeah,
No,
of
like
course.
he's not one of us. You could tell when somebody's not one of yours.
But I don't know what your problem is. Like you say, you just knew it.
Okay, when you
you gotta think
How
about
do
the
I-
situation.
when you see it
though.
going, okay, when you
You
see
gotta
it
think
going,
about, you're not getting the whole picture of the
I don't
situation.
think you get it,
you are
yeah.
you are a
I think you're
guard
looking
on
at
the
it very
border.
locally,
You're in
bro.
a guard of a border,
Yeah.
and like you know what's going on. No
You
one
have
has to
a-
communicate
you have
to
1,000
Like,
people,
you
1,000
know what's
people
going
at your
on.
People
border, what
around
do you
will
expect?
communicate. Like right now, if let's say for example, when the Palestinians were coming in, not Palestinians, the Ukraine, when they were coming in over here, that was communicated. We knew that coming
Okay, the
in.
communication aspect might be big just to that nation though, just to that country. But
think
you're
you-
talking
but
about
yeah,
the
you're
whole
talking about the whole
continent.
Yes.
The
continent, bro.
communication
That's why
might be
my
good for
issue
that
is-
country. Okay, all right.
I think
They
you're
communicate
looking
in
at
that
it in a
country.
very small
They're not
scale,
You're not
bro.
looking at it in like a whole
a bigger
continent.
scale.
You're talking about
Yeah.
Africa. How much countries are in Africa?
Man,
50.
50.
God damn, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Do you know how much land, how many population is that?
I think you guys are looking in a small way.
Small way?
Yes, because
Baby, come on,
yeah, I
man.
think you guys are thinking. I think you put
Biggest said money
yeah,
makes the world go round.
Yeah, you're putting measurement to what can be done on this earth. Like you see, like you were saying, that can never happen. I see the other way. It can happen.
Before
Like I said,
currency?
us having one leader, it can happen. Us speaking one language, it can happen.
Definitely, not in your generation.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long.
Yo, bruh.
It doesn't matter how long. The point is,
Hold on.
it can happen.
I'm not gonna let you get away
I
with
didn't
that.
say.
I'm not letting you get away. You said one leader of 50 countries.
What's happening in America? How many countries? How many states we have in America?
We
But
have
dude,
50 states and they're right near each other. We're talking about, you know how big Africa is?
Oh my God! It's one continent, but guys, just like America.
Do you know how big Africa is though?
Africa
like,
is real
Africa is
big.
like 1.5 of America. Like
yeah.
Africa is
Africa
big.
is
Second
big.
largest continent.
It's not what you see on the
Bro.
map.
Africa,
big.
I know.
It's
I know.
the
It's not what he says on the
second
map.
largest
There's
continent
no
on
way
Earth,
you can have
bro.
one leader leading Africa. I just don't see that happening.
Nah, it's too big.
There is
Our
no way.
our countries are right next to each other. It's not like it's. What are you talking about?
Do you know
Okay,
Donald
okay.
Trump could get from DC to goddamn California in just like a couple
Do
of
you
hours?
know it's a lot faster for me to fly from Kenya to Congo from
Which
But I'm saying you gotta
Congo?
apply
Which
from
area?
one end.
DR,
But which area though you talking about?
Kinshasa.
But you gotta cover the whole country from South
As
Africa to
opposed,
Morocco.
as opposed from someone flying from Kinshasa to like another area, I forgot the other name, to another city. That's how big Congo is. Like I can get to you faster than him. So what are you talking about, my
but-
guy?
From
No,
Morocco to South Africa. From Morocco,
So,
from
okay,
one
look at
end
it.
to the other
Yeah,
end.
Okay, let me just ask
it's
you
gonna
this
take
question.
days.
That's
right?
gonna
Why
take
made
you
it
a
North
long time.
America?
But you're not
No one
driving,
way
you're
can run
flying.
that.
Hold on,
You're
hold on.
flying.
No one.
But it's gonna take you
how many
days.
countries- how many
How
countries-
long does it take you from right here to Washington State
Okay,
driving?
Washington State.
Yes.
I don't know, like
3
10.
hours, 4
Washington-
hours?
Washington State.
3
no, that-
hours?
Washington State. I don't
Oh,
know.
No,
Washington
that's
State,
long.
okay.
That's on the other side of the West Coast,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Washington
Yes,
State,
that's on
yeah.
top. Nigga, that's taking
Yeah.
you days.
Yeah.
But drive, but you talking about driving, even though like
Exactly, that's the gift
So-
I'm giving him. You're not gonna drive. You're gonna fly.
But hold on,
That's
hold on.
gonna
Let me
take a
ask-
long
let me
time.
ask-
From
long time.
Morocco
Let
to
me ask
South
this
Africa.
question.
It's not gonna take a
Okay,
long
how
time.
many- how many-
Look,
okay,
what's the
how many
flight?
Oh my
countries-
goodness. So you guys
Okay.
are behind this shit.
Hold on. How many
He
countries?
said we're behind this shit.
You guys are behind this. What are you talking about,
Okay,
nigga?
okay. How many countries? Okay.
We're corrupting this bitch right now.
One man in North America. How many
I'm
countries?
weak,
How many
bro.
countries in North America? North America as a continent. How many countries that actually made it North America?
North America.
so
You
what?
got Canada, US,
how
and
many
Mexico,
countries
right?
that made it North America?
Yo,
Congo is probably bigger than
let's
every
hit
state.
this.
I'm trying to break down for him though. So
Let's hit this real quick. Oh, you already took yours a half.
Oh,
but I think I
So
only have
you-
like about 10 minutes left.
hey man, love you.
Oh, always.
Did you find it? How long is what was it? Angola?
to find the flights.
But I don't think that. I think
No, just Google how
we're
far
just
from
out of
with a
topic,
flight.
bro.
It'll show you.
Because Sergio, if you really look at it, right?
Yeah.
How many countries actually made it to North America? Like, what make North America? How many countries?
Well, just Mexico, U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
There we go. But you saying that America is so big, right? And then that's why it's be able to control. But even North America is now bigger than Africa.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
And that's why he's trying to tell you. I said, dude, it's not America is not the same thing as just America alone. It's not the same thing as Africa as a continent.
So to you, okay, to
It's-
you
it's
say
a
we can
bigger-
never have one leader, right?
Because, dude, how can you have let me ask this. How can you have a one leader when you guys don't even speak the same economic language? There's so much barrier.
Yeah.
There's so much barrier. First, you got to solve that in order for you
Yeah.
to see yourself as equal first.
You see,
I'm going to come to you as a country because it's, in the world in general, we are human
find
beings
it?
are natural just to be
43
to be
hours.
ego.
flight.
Yes.
That's
43 hours.
And that's a connect.
43 hours.
And that's what state? What state?
But that's-
I mean, what country? What country?
That's from Morocco to South Africa.
That's it.
But
My
That-
bad. Continue, Blaze.
no, I'm just. I mean, it's like I agree with Sergio what you're saying. I think first we have to speak the same economically language, and then after that, when we pass those barriers, and then we can come to a conclusion. And those languages that you're talking about, yes, those languages are always going to be there, right? So, but then if you're having passed that, it's just so hard for us to even be to be one unit because
You're right.
The thing about it, Blaze,
Fuck
I'm
out
sorry
of
to
here,
cut you
nigga.
off,
You are
Blaze.
such a liar, nigga.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Bitch ass
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Tell
What
us
is it? What is it?
43 hours.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
17 hours, just like me.
That's a lot. That's still a long time.
It's
No,
for same
say-
thing. From Raya, if I fly from Raya to Kenya, that's about the same.
But I'm saying from DC to fucking California is not fucking 17 hours,
Nah,
bro.
it's more than that.
He
I
could.
think
he
so,
could.
right?
From DC to California,
It's more than that, right?
no way it's 17 hours.
No,
bro.
it's
There's-
what? It's more?
there's no way it
no,
could be
it's
17
like
hours.
7 hours.
There's no way. But you still, that's a lot.
No,
though.
7
17
hours?
hours?
From one end of US to the other one?
No, DC to
DC to
California.
California, 7 hours?
Yeah, because remember the time difference also.
You're right.
Yeah, so it changes.
Wait, say what you were about to say.
Wow.
But the thing about it, okay, so the thing, Blaze, I worry that like the communication is just getting rid of like your language. I think that's hard to convince people.
You're right.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
because
what
I see, look at our parents right now. Your parents still speak
Of
your
course.
native tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, your parents
course,
do.
of
Okay,
course, yeah.
now you're telling them, hey, we have this new language that you're gonna have to learn as well on top of that.
Yeah, the funny
and
thing-
that's
By
gonna
you
and-
speaking
and-
about it, it just makes so exhausting.
yeah, like it's it's the whole continent, but it's like, yo, we were doing okay before like everybody
Yeah.
came in, but if you tell them what people is pain and gain, that's the way I look at it. What's the pain and what's the gain? Like
You know, so
like,
crazy. Let me just cut you off for a second. It's so crazy you say that shit. I have my grandparents who came over here. They were not speaking English. They learn English. They speak English. My grandma always when she come when I meet her, she says hello to my nieces and my nephew in English. That's grandma, not my mom, not my dad. Grandma,
Grandma.
my cousins. Anyway, continue. I'm saying this is doable.
It's doable. You're right.
That's
it's
the point I'm
doable.
saying. It's doable.
And we gotta
The point
think
is the
as
willing. If you
the
see
willing.
when you look, that's what I'm saying. You
I
limit
agree.
yourself. If
Yeah.
you don't see the will, it will never happen.
It will never
I'm
happen.
saying it's doable. That's grandma came to America, learned American English, speaks American English. Doesn't speak the whole thing
Mm-hmm. No,
fluently.
listen, but see, what you say, you have a great point. It's a very important thing. That's why kind of like holding us back. But we talk about being proactive. Being proactive is, you know what I'm saying? Right now, it's the currency.
okay, but like the thing too,
You
think
know what
about
I'm
us
saying?
Africans as a general. What are we?
Yeah.
Like
Africans.
No, the most important part to us is culture.
Culture,
Our
yeah.
culture is important.
important, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you can go to every African household in the U.S. right now, and I bet you there's something from Africa that's there. Like my
Oh, yeah.
people were a lot of Chinas. Like I don't know, every
Zebra.
every South Sudanese household has a china, and those dishes they don't eat on it, they don't drink it, they never use it. It's always just propped up for like.
Or they have rice and beans.
Yeah, right. It's always there. The culture is always there,
Wow.
and I feel like with your native tongue,
Yeah.
that is yours, right?
That's true.
And like for your country, that is yours. Whatever you made for your country, that's your main language. You take pride in that. Like that is mine. And now you have me coming in like, hey, like we're gonna change that to something else, and everybody else is gonna be doing it. I think that's a lot harder to convince than you coming in and being like, hey, with this way, we can make more money. Plain blank, period.
You know, just saying that when I went, and I told you this when I went back home, not too long ago, I found people they're raising their kids right, and they're teaching their kids to speak English. They don't even speak Swahili. They want to speak the American English. Even right now, we have people in Kenya, they're naming their kids the American names. I'm meeting someone from Kenya with an American name, both names. You know how you can tell someone's from a certain tribe with the last name? They don't have those names no more. They're having American names. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? That's American names. That's not Kenyan name.
Isn't it what you say that you want to be able everybody to speak the one language? So,
Yes.
I mean, that's also English it could be one language.
Yeah, but you see,
It's not wrong with that.
I'm not refusing to that. But our national language is what? It's Swahili.
And
So
then
you're telling them not to speak. There's a difference. That not to speak Swahili, just speak English. So when I speak to them Swahili, like nah, they don't speak Swahili. They only speak English. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's sad, man.
Yeah, this is Kenya. Like our national language is Swahili.
I think you're making our point though. Like
Yeah.
you're making up because like you tell them to get rid of their culture.
Yes,
and
that's the point I'm
hard 'cause
telling you.
That's what I'm known for. Like I don't want to give up my culture.
You're
to be
right.
honest with you, if they were like, hey, yo, Sudan, like you guys, your main language is not going to be Arabic no more. We want you guys to convert all to English. It's
Yeah.
going to be like, really? I don't. That's. But if you come in and to be like, hey, like okay, the currency that you're using right now is not doing so good. So we're gonna convert to this currency, and you guys will be doing better. And with this, you guys are gonna be making more money. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, we're gonna make more money, right? But I'm not giving out my native tongue. I'm not giving out Arabic. I'm not giving out the language that I grew up love speaking to my my grandmother, my grandfather, my mother. Like that's what ties us together. Like I know you Africans all go through this. All you motherfuckers have been to goddamn grocery stores and you started speaking your own language, talking shit about everybody in the store.
that shit
Like,
all the time.
imagine people taking
You
that away
need
from
that,
me.
right?
I love that. I go to a store with my people that speak Arabic. I'm talking shit about everybody in that bitch that don't understand me. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect, though.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a part of me. It's my DNA, and I love it. So I don't think I would want to give it up. But the currency, I'll give that shit up.
man.
I'll
yeah.
give that shit in a heartbeat.
I'm
Okay,
telling you,
fuck it.
man. I think it's the most important thing, man. I'm telling you, like, cause I mean, the Western world made it like the currency the most valuable thing, right? To really take a look at, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we every day look at the stock market. There's no like language market. Every day the stock market goes up, it go down. There's no like, oh, these people learn English today is going up.
Just to follow up from that, guess what?
Yes.
And there's people in Germany
Africa,
that's making money off the stock
Out of
market.
it.
I'm telling
There's
you.
My
people
own
in
cousins
goddamn
making
UK.
money out of it.
I'm
That
telling you.
Africa making
yeah. So what are you
They
saying?
still
I
making
know,
money
that's
off
what I'm
of
saying,
it.
understand
man.
one
It's a
thing.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, don't
Money.
understand. The money, it goes up and down. They know when to trade and when not,
Yes,
I'm telling you.
I
like,
understand. Listen, when this why I like what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I like my vision, and sometimes people never understand your vision until things happen. You know what I mean?
agree.
So it's not for you to understand what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
But maybe at some point it might make sense.
No, I
to
do
you.
get what you're
You know
saying.
what I
Your
mean?
language is always
No,
in
let
my
me.
makes sense to you.
I
think
do.
Like-
I do get what you're saying.
I'm telling you, I watch when our president go to election. I'm telling you, I watch they divide us in tribes because they know these guys speak this language,
language.
these guys speak this language, these
Hey,
guys, and then
and
they
you-
all
you know
speak
what?
differently, and then
Why you
we end up
saying-
divided because
That's
we
the
don't know
same
what they're
thing-
talking about. That's why I say if we can all speak one language, we can be
You're
equal
right.
because now we understand what they're doing.
Listen, what you saying, right? What you're
what's
saying
the
make
point
right
of the
because
symptom
Cameroon
then?
has the same issue too. Cameroon is divided. There's an English speaking side and there's a French side. So usually they have like say like I see what you say right where the language is also holding us, say kind of
course,
like
it is.
It's a
I
problem.
think, but the thing is, if you really break down, you gotta understand that what's the actual problem with the symptoms, right? You look at it, the root cause of it, all this
Yeah,
division as
true.
well. It's all come down to money
To
sometimes.
money.
You see, all
Yeah.
divided over religion. What divided over religion all come to one thing: money. Because they had an agreement of this is such a that
You're
they
right.
divided themselves. What the root cause always come down to money.
Money is
Always the same. 50% of divorce is always disagreement
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
After
all
they get
money.
divorced, what's the one thing they're asking for?
Yeah.
Share, equal share. Because they want part of that wealth as well.
And I know we're gonna
Right.
wrap it up
So
soon.
that-
And before we wrap it up, like I have one question for everybody in this room, right? That I think that has to be answered because I felt like overall, like this conversation has obviously been great. But obviously starting with you,
Yes.
what makes you, proud of being African? Like what's the thing that you're like, hey, I don't get that if I'm not African.
Man, listen, being African is it's a blessing, bro. Like, even though we have our differences, we like in a whole, but I don't see us in a whole. I see the potential that we have, and one day, I hope say maybe this generation can do it, but one day the future, because we have to. But being African is like, man, it's everything, bro. We are the history. History is really written according to the African tradition, African people. Really, we are really like the root of everything, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So being African is everything, bro. It's like it's the most beautiful thing ever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You?
No, I'll let you guys go
I'll
because I'll just
go
finish.
last?
I'll finish
Okay.
last as we end the show.
For me, I think that is strength. I know all you guys have been around it. African parents, African fathers, mothers. I'm not gonna lie, like African mothers, I think African mothers are like the creme crap at the top. Like,
Yeah.
like African mothers are like, if you grew up in a household with an African mother, like what's up. Like
You're right.
African mothers, African fathers, uncles, and all of the old heads that have like, been through like everything that they've been through, I think their strength.
This strength,
Because
yeah.
like they've been through so much and like they've always every story is different. And this is no shade to any other race, but I just think that, the people that I'm around and like the people that I've met throughout my whole journey and this beautiful thing that we call life, is just seeing those people and the examples that they set for like the upcoming generation is nothing but beautiful, right? So I think African strength is like nothing like no other, and that's why I'm glad to be African because
You're
like
right.
the strength that I have, like even when I hit my rock bottom, I know like, hey, there's no way up from here. Like there's no way where I'll hit rock bottom, I'll be like, okay, I give up. Because in an African household, that's not
Yeah.
allowed. Like
Giving up is-
you
yeah,
hit the rock
quitting is not
bottom.
an
Like,
option.
what do you? No, we're giving up where? Huh?
Sucking it
Where are we
right
going? Huh? What? You giving up where? No,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
It does
What are you
not
talking
matter. It's
about?
like,
I
hey,
know.
like we've been like I said once again, it's no shade to like no other race. It's like because we just been through so much,
much.
and like I'm so glad now the spotlight is on us. Like now everybody's glad to be African. Like Afro beats is hitting
Yeah.
off, and being dark and being beautiful and being African now is looked upon as like, hey, like you are different. Like you are a king, you are a queen,
Yes, sir.
you are really from the motherland, and I'm so happy that I get to see this because I know like we grew up in a part
You're
where
right.
motherfuckers was calling us African booty scratchers.
You're
Now
right.
everybody
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to be fucking African,
Exactly,
right? So I think
exactly.
African strength, African beauty, and African
Yeah.
pride is the reason why I love being African. So that's it for
Dope,
me.
man.
Yo, that is dope, man.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Honestly, I think it's just a culture. I'm more like just the culture itself being African in general. It's just I'm proud of that, and of being who we are. I, our history, the way we come along from our ancestor. That I look at it back on our history, the way we survived so many things, and we're still here. You see, majority of black people don't have generation wealth because of we're colonized and all that, but we're still driving. We're still, we're fighters, man. Yeah, we're fighters. But at the same times, uh, just we continue being proud every day, all years around. Even our new generation, we still be proud. We still hold that proudness of our ancestors and of ourselves, where we come from. I think it's just now we just have to. I think now, like you said, like right now we actually being aware of our identity of ourselves. Really.
Absolutely.
Like we are actually, there's majority of people a long time ago there was no proud to be.
Yes.
But now
I know exactly what you're talking about, Blaze. A lot of time people growing up, they were afraid to say that they were African.
African,
But
this Jamaican.
Now we're proud to say. Now the majority of people, I think we're taking this. What you call it? There's a way of in English words I would say. I can't remember, but. It's just right now. It's just a cool things, bro, to be African.
Yeah, it is.
To music, to resilience, to man, you name it. We're top of it.
Yeah, man.
Everything. Yo, man, I don't know what else to add. All this stuff you niggas just saying, man. Like, that's just super dope, man. I love it. All I can say, I'm proud to be African. I will always be African. Matter of fact, you just mentioned that shit. Like, there was a time I used to be that guy.
You said you was from Jamaica.
Oh, really?
I'm not African. I'm from Jamaica.
Yo, they were cracking jokes on this. So I had to lie, man. I'm sorry.
Where's your bracelet at? Where's your bracelet at? Where's your bracelet at?
It's
You don't got your bracelet. I'm saying if you don't got your bracelet, you know what? Come on, man. You always,
Hey, I got my little bracelet. You know what I'm saying? My little.
Yeah, I always got it on,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
to remind me. You feel me?
Yeah.
I represent more than just me. I represent a whole
You're
continent.
Definitely, man. But yeah, I'm so proud. So I apologize to myself as well for lying to myself. I was Jamaican or whatever.
Really? I never really. Ever since I know you never did that though.
No. There's some place I used to go and I had to do that because sometimes you could have like a bunch of people with you and then they see an African guy walking by and then they start dissing that guy.
He see a bad bitch, he be like, no, I'm not African. I'm Jamaican.
You're right.
And then at that time they be like, yo, African niggas, man, they ain't shit. But like, yo, shut up, man. That's why I'm Jamaican as well. They clowning you. You know what I mean? It's just you.
You're right.
It's just you. It's like 10 niggas and then just you. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you,
what
we
are
came
you
a
gonna
long
do,
way.
man? And then those are the times also you were trying to fit in. Like you did, again, the thing, identity. I mean, I didn't have that at that time. So I was just trying to fit in. So whatever they were doing, I'm like, that's cool. So let me just go with that. But anyway, as you age, you learn. So it's okay. Now I'm good. I'm Kenyan. I'm definitely African to the core. I rep our people. And I'll definitely keep fighting for you guys, man. We gotta do better because Africa is doing bad right now, but we have a better future. We have seen so many Americans moving to Africa, so that shows you, we them niggas. Yeah, Africa is the place. So with that being said, you guys wanna plug in your
All I gotta
handles?
say, to follow that up, pause. We have to crawl for a lot of motherfuckers to walk nowadays. So we talk all the jokes for you motherfuckers growing up now. So, from now, just take it up, be proud of being African, right?
Yeah.
Be proud to, like he said, man, one thing that, how that is the culture, right? Like you have a culture that nobody has, right? Because I remember like you guys been through this. Like I used to go in the house sometimes and it smelled like African food and I'd be embarrassed, right? And I'm like, damn, why the house smell like African food? Now, like as a grown person, I miss that. Like I miss that going home and just like being around like that African culture 24/7 because my mother provided that.
You see
for
that
me,
when you
right?
just say that?
Yeah. So it's like,
and I found that when I came here, I used to play all this like African music. But then sometimes I'll be in the open setting, people that can hear my music I'm playing. And a friend of mine will be like, man, why you always gotta be African every time, man? Play something 50 Cent or somebody to be American. And I'll be like, bro, this is the shit. One of these days, this shit, everybody's gonna be playing.
Shout out to Burna Boy, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to fucking Burna Boy for playing us
these
like
days,
Wizkid and everybody, but damn,
Yeah, it's
bro.
true. I actually remember because I grew up on hip hop. And my cousin used to play, of course, African music at that time, and I used to hate that shit. I was like, "Yo, this shit is whack, yo," because the beats were garbage to me. Like there was no bass to it. I play on. I used to hate that
there was
shit.
bass. I'm pretty sure there was all that, but it's just you.
No, it was not. Because remember, no, it was not there. Because remember, at that time, we used to drive cars with the subwoofer in the trunk.
Okay.
So yeah, we want the thumping music, you know what I mean? The bass on
boom,
it.
boom.
So when you put African music in it, there was no bass to it.
Yeah.
And I used to hate that shit. I was like, yo, this
Trust me, I used to
who
fuck with a
produced
lot
this
of
shit?
people.
I used to hate that. And then when you play hip hop, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
the car is shaking. I'm like, this is the shit I want. You know what I mean? So
This is the shit.
yeah. Even right now, if you listen to Afro beats, I mean the beats, they got the bass and everything. So that's the thing I was looking for. So everything worked out anyway. But
we're just glad, bro. I'm honestly, I'm really, man. I'm just like hopeful. Like I'm very hopeful to be able to be in this generation alive to witness how far we have come and to be able to reach this level. Man, it's crazy.
And I'll give credit to like the young generation too, because like I felt like I hop onto a lot of like these social media sites and I see like a lot of these young generations like they're proud. They're like, hey, like I'm proud to be from like I'm proud to be African. Like there's nothing you could tell me like you know that's gonna make me go down. Like I'm different. Like I have culture. And I think that's changing. It's like, hey, like back then we didn't realize that we had culture. And now a lot of these kids, they realize that like, yo, like we have a culture and it's the African culture. Like it's ours. Like nobody else could take that away from you. Like that's your culture. Just, you know, take it, hold it, and like don't ever let it go. Because like as life goes on, you're gonna meet challenges and like it's gonna try to change you from who you are. But I'm saying if you grew up in an African household with an African mother and African father with both parents, like you know, like that's your culture. That's your culture.
See,
and I hope that you pass that down to your kids.
I was having, I don't mean to cut you off, but I was having this conversation with someone from Poland, right? And I said, are you guys? I heard that you guys you don't like certain people and type of stuff like that. He's like, no, it's not. That's not the case. We don't like. It's not like we don't like certain people. It's just that. When African, this is why he said, I'm taking what he said. African, when they come to Poland, they want us to change things. Instead of we like to keep our own culture the way it is. Don't come here and change things. You just respect our culture. See, that's the same thing. But then in Africa, when those guys that are actually speaking like that, they'll come there. But if you say the same thing, you respect our culture. They don't really they'll say that no, African culture is too much. But then we seem to, nowadays, we don't, like you were saying, we are more westernized, right? We are more westernized. Our generation back over there, they are more westernized. And African here, we want to be African. And then back home, they want to be westernized.
It's like, you flip and flop, right? Yeah. Man, I love my culture. Asida, Mulakombo, Fasulia, you know, I love all my culture, you know.
That is very true.
So,
it's 100% facts.
It's like we just have to respect ourselves, like knowing that know our identity is saying that we got to keep it, this is ours. And we have to respect someone else as well. But when we go like the guy who was talking about from Poland, it's like, I respect that because that's your culture. That's your identity.
You got to protect it.
You got to protect that at all costs. I'm like, that's no racist at all.
Yeah, man. Damn,
So
man. I appreciate it, man. This was a good conversation, man. Like,
definitely.
I really, I felt like we got a lot off our,
Yeah.
chest and whatever. And I got to learn more about Congo, man. Like I said, like, I have a lot of good brothers that, you know, I rock with out here. You know, Josh, Arsene, which is really close friends of mine. And they're both Congolese, right? And I didn't know that, right? And I'm actually going to see them tomorrow at church. So, it's one of those things that I could pull them to a side and be like, hey, man, like, you know, I want to learn more. Like, because I want to know what's going on, right? At the end of the day, it's just like, I'm Sudanese, right? But I'm still African at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need to know what's going on with my neighbor country, especially with Congo. Like, Congolese, like, you guys are literally like our brothers, like, right?
Of course.
And
You look Congolese, by the way.
No,
too.
my tribe, I'm from Zande. I'm from Zande. I'm from Zande. Yeah, I'm from the Zande tribe.
You know?
I'm from the Zande tribe,
bro,
and my tribe really originated in Congo, and then they made their way down to South Sudan.
Really? Of course.
So like my tribe,
I like it that you put it that way.
Yeah,
That's
like my
what's up.
tribe, like deep in their history, like they're really like they're Congolese, like that's where they originated from, and then they made their way down to South Sudan.
That's actually
So like yeah.
I was reading this book too. They say that there is so many ethnic group that actually been from the Congo. You remember, majority of East people, they actually came from the Congo first.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the heart of Africa.
Yeah.
Bantu people actually came from Congo first, right?
I was gonna say that the Bantus, especially,
The heart of Africa.
They spread all over the place.
You're right.
yeah.
It's a
very
Congo
true.
is a very important, like,
And
geographically.
and remember,
right?
Of course.
remember even before,
You know?
before right now with the Afro beats, Lingala, that was our shit.
Yeah, Kofi,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Kofi,
my
yeah.
boy shit. What
So
Kofi?
Congo played a big part in
Big part in
Africa.
Africa.
Big
Yeah.
part.
If you don't know Kofi, then you're not real
Yeah.
African. I don't care where you're from, man.
You're right, you gotta know
Wilo
Kofi.
Lokumba, you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
gotta know
I'm
this
telling
guy.
you,
Yo,
man,
that's
those
a
are
Yeah,
classics,
yeah,
man.
classics,
Those are
right?
classics. Those are
You didn't
classics.
understand the lyrics, but you just speak the sound of it.
yeah.
It's a beautiful
You know what I'm saying?
African vibe, bro.
Africa is
Yeah,
cool,
music
bro.
is like
Africa
that.
is
Yeah,
dope.
true.
Music's like that.
That's very
Even
true.
for me.
Back to your point, you don't need to know the language. I
I
said this
know.
to Kofi. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck he said, but I know, goddamn, it makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the language, but I know it makes me feel
You're
good,
right.
and
You're
the rhythm
definitely right.
puts me in a good place.
music
and
is
I
the only
like
thing
it.
that doesn't need any language.
No,
If it's
right.
good,
we can
it's
apply.
good.
We can apply
Currency
to
don't need no
everything.
language either, goddamn man.
You're right. Currency, you're right. You're right.
I'm not letting you go.
You're right.
No. We need language, then we get currency. To me, that's how I
Crazy.
know, man.
You crazy, man. You crazy.
But on that
man.
note, man, we're gonna leave it right here. It's been a good episode. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you, and we're gonna see you on the next one.
Oh hell yeah. No, obviously Instagram handles RichHomie14. That's my Instagram. If y'all want to follow, definitely connect. And yeah, you know, that's all.
Nairobi City, ooh, Nairobi City. Tunaleta action, ooh, Nairobi City. Ooh, ooh, ooh. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko Nairobi tunachafumeza. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko in the city, ChafuwaMeza. Don Kings in the building. Things in the building. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko Nairobi tunachafumeza. ChafuwaMeza, ChafuwaMeza. Tuko in the city, ChafuwaMeza. Don Kings in the building. Don Kings in the building. Straight from the flight to the club we go. Hold on, I'm lying. Straight from the flight, hit the air.